Welcome to the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week. We are live at Phil Datka Stadium on the campus of Germantown High School as the Germantown Warhawks take on the Bulldogs from Cedarburg. Hi, I'm Mike McGivern with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I am joined by the two head coaches. We've got Brian Lear from Cedarburg, Jake Davis from Germantown. Jake, let's start with you. So far, so good, right? 1-0 in conference, 3-0 overall. Feeling pretty good about these boys?
Yeah, we've been off to a good start, and hopefully we can keep it rolling and keep playing fast.
Hey, Brian, 1-0 in conference, 2-1 overall. Your only blemish you lost to is we had talked about a really good Greendale team, lost in overtime. A little bit dinged up tonight, but feeling pretty good?
Yeah, we got a great group of kids that worked very hard. They've stepped up to the occasion in both of our really tough non-conference games, and so we're excited about the group. They've worked really hard, quality kids.
Brian, I'm going to stay with you for a second. You know, I've talked to a number of guys who have seen your guys play this year, and the one word that has come through is physical. He said, look, this is a really physical Cedarburg team this year. Feeling like this is a team that gets after it pretty good as far as that part of the game?
Yeah, they play hard. They take the coaching really well, and they play as a unit, and that comes out to be a really quality team. We have been physical, so hopefully we can keep it going.
Hey, Jake, we had a chance to talk with our student athlete of the week, Carter Schmitz, and I said, hey, is this a rivalry game? And he said, I don't think the rivalry starts until we get them. And he said, it's been a bit for us. They've all been close, but this is a game that's really important to us here at Germantown. And certainly you guys look at Cedarburg as one of the top-notch teams in the state. So when you play them, and they've had your number here for a bit, but you guys ready to go this year according to number 3.
Absolutely. We got to play physical just like you guys were talking. We got to get after it and play hard. They've always been good games. It's a good, respectful rivalry. I enjoy playing this game, and the kids really enjoy it as well. So,
last thing for you, we are live at Phil Datka Stadium. And I talked to Phil before, and he said, look, I don't want it to be the Memorial Stadium for a long time. He's back home coaching quarterbacks. It's great to have a guy like Phil around.
It's been a great thing for us in the program and the community as well. This is where he belongs, and I'm glad to have him back.
You bet. Boys, I'm going to cut you guys loose. I really appreciate you guys allowing us to do this game. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, John Weiser and Terry Kelly get you the keys of the game. This is Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, only on My 24.
A little bit of late October in the air as two playoff caliber teams square off tonight here at Datka Stadium in Germantown. It's the Germantown Warhawks hosting the Cedarburg Bulldogs. Good evening, everyone. Along with Coach Terry Kelly, John Weiser with you as we get set for this North Shore Conference matchup here tonight. And as we talked about all week long with these coaches and their staff, very big ball game here tonight, trying to get to win number 4 in your conference.
Plus, that conference finish determines playoffs, and so each of these teams is trying to get those key wins. There's always those games you should win, the games that you're questioning, and then those in-between games, and this is one of them. 2 evenly matched teams. Each of these teams wants to get that win.
Through the years, this has been a very big, I don't know if you call it rivalry, but these two teams really go after each other here over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, the coaches stress it's a friendly rivalry, tremendous amount of respect for one another. They talk to each other on the phone, and Coach Davis has not beaten Cedarburg, something he's very aware of.
Cedarburg comes into the game here tonight a bit banged up, but they get their quarterback, Mojica, back tonight.
Right, he missed the game with a little bit of a shoulder problem, and so they want to have him in there to balance off their offense.
They've got the conference's leading rusher as well on offense here tonight.
Alex Shabesta has rushed for over 500 yards this year in 3 games, and so the combination of Mojica and Shabesta, something I'm sure Germantown is out to stop.
Defensively, you got a pair of two-way players that we're going to highlight here tonight for the Bulldogs.
Well, you got Kyle Pullum, who's getting all kinds of looks from big-time programs, going to be in the defensive line, and you've got Jonathan Stever, who is a 2-way player, All-State honorable mention last year, both offensively and defense, as well as first-team North Shore Conference on both sides of the ball.
For Germantown offensively, their quarterback, Dwayne Lawhorn, he's got a great tutor in Phil Datka, and he is the real deal.
We saw him on Monday, and he's just dropping pass after pass in, doing a great job. And then to go along with him, they got Joe Lemeron, very strong, quick running back.
Defensively, a pair of defensive ends on that defensive side of the ball for the Warhawks.
Yeah, Cole Karts and Lincoln Gruber, they really anchor that defensive front four. They're going to bring pressure on the Cedarburg quarterback, try to keep him contained, and then also try to slow down that double wing offense that Cedarburg likes to run.
That leads us now into Coach Kelly's keys for the ball game tonight.
Well, Cedarburg wants to slow the game down. If they want to make sure that their double wing offense controls the ball, they have to contain Dwayne Lawhorn Jr. because he is such an outstanding passer, and they've got to limit the big plays. They can't get hit with those home runs.
And for Germantown tonight?
They want to balance the run and pass so that Cedarburg can't kind of concentrate on just the one. They've got to limit Cedarburg's time of possession, and they've got to force turnovers.
Cedarburg has won the last 6 in this series, the last 3 by 4 or less points. Should be a great one here tonight. We've got the kickoff coming your way right after this on My 24. Chilly evening in Germantown tonight. Temperatures are going to fall into the 40s before the end of our broadcast here tonight from Datka Stadium. Germantown taking on Cedarburg here this evening. Well, on this Patriots Day, as we reflect and remember what took place on this date 13 years ago, we have the Marine Corps Color Guard on hand here tonight. Let's reflect and thank those first responders and those on the front line who protect us and allow us to have high school football on Thursday nights. And then we'll enjoy our national anthem here this evening.
Tonight, on the 13th anniversary of the terrorist attacks of 9/11, we ask for a moment of silence to recognize those who lost their lives. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise as we honor America tonight with the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Germantown High School All Sound Marching Band.
Our presentation of tonight's game ball tonight, and that is also by the United States Marine Corps, as they will present this to our game official tonight, Steve Breester. Talking with Steve before the game, he's familiar with this North Shore matchup out of the Port Washington area. Grew up in Port Washington, now living up in Winneconne, Wisconsin.
Yeah, they brought their crew down from up north. They had an open date, and they matched up well with this, so kind of a return to the home turf. and they're really looking forward to the game as well. They know both of these teams extremely well coached, what a strong rivalry this is, so they're expecting to have an outstanding game.
United States Marine Corps with our game ball presentation tonight. Steve Reister is our referee tonight. We're going to get set for some exciting North Shore Conference football. Cedarburg in the white, Germantown wearing the blue jerseys tonight. Germantown winning the coin toss. They will receive, working right to left as we view it here. Back deep for Germantown will be Kyle Wiederman, a senior, and Nick Schneider, also a senior. Waiting the kick here tonight by Gavin Stumpf. Set temperatures will fall back into the mid-40s before this game is through tonight. A little October feel.
It doesn't feel like we're in the middle of September, but once again, it's a clear night, so we're looking forward to a fast track.
Run up and the kick, and we are underway. As the drifting under this one will be Wiederman. Wiederman cuts back across the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. Brought down in the play by Sam McComas on special teams. So Cedarburg gets the ball, or I should say Germantown starting off with Dwayne Lawhorn Jr. at quarterback. We talked about him. On pace to throw for 1,700 yards. There's your starting lineup. Lawhorn at quarterback. Lemeron the running back, and he's got 3 targets that he likes to pick out. Karch, along with Schultz and Doran and Schmitz.
Shortest of those receivers is 6'2", so nice tall targets.
They'll go double wide here, single back. And they'll give it to Lemeron, working the right side, trying to gain the edge to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play, brought down by Lucas Rozek. Set the defense for you, a 4-3 alignment. Again, Pullum on that defensive front. 2-way starter, 4-year starter altogether. And then Jonathan Stever in the free safety spot, the captain of the defense. 2nd and 6. Lawhorn will keep it, and he'll take it close to the 30-yard line, maybe 3 on the play. We saw a little bit more of that in practice this week of Lawhorn running the ball on that read option.
Right, that's something he hasn't shown so much in the first 3 games, and so I'm sure that Coach Davis and the offensive coordinator, Steve Tennis, wanted to work that into the repertoire tonight.
Nick Russo in on that last stop. Sets up 3rd and about 4. Get to the 32. Lawhorn wants the pass. Lefty's going to loft it up. Drops one over the top. Into the hands and out of the hands of Cole Karch, the intended receiver down that far sideline. And we were watching that in practice this week, and boy, it couldn't have thrown a ball any better.
Right, even though they missed that connection, you see the kind of ball that Dwayne Lawhorn Jr. throws. It was right on the money.
Karch had a chance. It was Deming back there in coverage, the senior cornerback. Zorn will punt. Gets off a nice one. Got it to turn over in traffic. Fair catch signaled for and made out there by Jonathan Stever. So Cedarburg forcing a 3 and out, and they will get the ball here. Their first possession of the first quarter. I want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights presented on My24 is available streaming live online. Simply log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. Spotted at the 37. And Mojica will hand it off, coming around the near side with it. Gets about the 40-yard line with that. Jonathan Stever, again, we said 2-way. He'll play running back as we set the offense for you. Mojica back in the starting lineup. Missed the game last week. As I said, Pullum anchoring that offensive line, and then you've got Shabesta, the running back, number 24, leading runner in the conference coming into this week's ball games.
Yeah, Shabesta and Stever are a nice 1-2 punch in that backfield.
2nd and 6. Shabesta will take it, powers his way across the 40, just shy of the 45-yard line. pickup of about 4 as we set the defense for you. We talked about Karch and Gruber in the pregame, but there's also some good ones back there in that linebacker and secondary area. Tice, a senior, an inside linebacker, second team all-conference, anchoring that linebacker spot. And Van Buscom at the corner. 3rd and short, Stever will take it. He breaks it up the middle, and he'll take it all the way. He'll take it 55 yards into the house, and Cedarburg on top early. Jonathan Stever with a strong run, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
You know, one of those things, you didn't see him in a double wing formation, but those principles that they're following there are all double wing.
4th touchdown of the season on the ground for Jonathan Stever. So Cedarburg gets on the board early. 55-yard run, the tack on for the extra point, wide left. 6-0 Cedarburg early in this first quarter as we head to the sideline. Our first report of the night, and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm listening to the Cedarburg defensive coordinator, and they're talking about timing their blitzes a little bit better. First question you have for the defensive back, what happened on that? He said, look, I opened my hips up, I understand, I've got that. Defense coordinator said, just don't let it happen again. Very calm, cool, but he talked a lot about making sure they timed their blitz correctly in the way they practiced it. It's an exciting group on the Cedarburg side.
Exciting run by Stever to get them on the board, 6-0, 6'3" senior. 20 carries now, 4 of them for touchdowns.
You know, Stever's got almost, well, he now has surpassed the 200-yard mark for the season, and you've got Shabesta with over 500 yards. That's a nice balance there, plus Mojica. Oh, in only 2 games, he's thrown for almost 300 yards. So it's an offense that can hit you in the air quickly and can run it on the ground.
So Germantown will have to regroup here. Wiederman and Schneider both standing deep. This time it'll go to Schneider. Take the line drive kick off his shoulder, looking for it, picks it up at the 5. Gets to the 10 and met by a host of special teamers for the Bulldogs at the 11-yard line. Just a 6-yard return, and that line drive kick kind of floating out there. Jack Phillips leading the group in on that stop.
We had talked about Cedarburg coming in a little banged up, but that old coach's adage, you only play 11 at a time, and if you got the right 11, that's going to kind of take care of some of those injury situations. So we'll see what happens as the game wears on and whether that little bit of that depth becomes a problem.
So 1st and 10 Germantown as Lawhorn will bring the offense out. Lemeron the single back. They'll go 3 wides to the right. Cedarburg showing blitz, now backs off as Lemeron coming around the left side. Nice tackle as he just started to make his cut that time. That was the big man Kyle Pollum. We featured him in the pregame, coach, and stepped up big there.
It'll be interesting to see what happens if you look at this last offensive set. Cedarburg committed 4 guys to those 3 receivers, and so obviously what Germantown wants to try to do is take advantage of those numbers coming back. So it's going to be up to the defense to make sure they don't give them that easy run.
From the 11, 2nd and 10, Lawhorn will roll out. The lefty will square, fire, completes the pass to Schultz, and he's brought down just across the 10-yard line at about the 13, 3-yard pickup. Gillis Groves was there, the senior corner for the Bulldogs.
Squared up real nicely on that, drove right through the man. Good solid tackle.
Quickly now. Bring up 3rd and about 6 here for the Warhawks. They trail 6-0. A Stever 55-yard touchdown run. And the first possession for Cedarburg tonight. Lawhorn taking his time. Will fake the handoff, comes back over the middle. Cole Karch caught, but bobbled it and dropped. Second drop of the night for Karch. Normally a reliable receiver, having trouble hanging on. Broken up by Nick Russo out there as we take one more look.
Nick Russo is a 6'2", 174-pound senior, also a hockey player, so we know he's going to be a tough, hard-nosed kid.
Check your man. Body check there on Karch. Punt here by Zorn. This will be a short punt. They'll take a Warhawk bounce, though, across midfield. It will roll dead at the 40. 6-0 Cedarburg to get the second possession in good field position at their own 40-yard line. You know, this season first downs have a special meeting, and for each first down made, Durzon and Menard will be making a donation to each of our Thursday Night Lights schools here tonight. Thank Durzon and Menard jumping on board this year, our fine sponsors of Thursday Night Lights here on My 24. Just under 8.5 minutes to go, first quarter. And this is Shabesta coming around the right side across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Down by the free safety, Nick Schneider.
Get that sweep look coming at you. A couple of lead blockers. Pull those guards around, get that lead back. Try to kick out, turn it upfield.
Said coming in, 502 yards rushing. A pair of long ones last week, a 52-yard touchdown run and a 71-yard run.
We've yet to see Mojica try to air it out, so it'll be interesting to see when they're going to try to work that in.
2nd and 7, they'll run a little reverse back to Stever. And Stever trying to round the left side, met at the line of scrimmage. Germantown staying home that time. Perhaps look for a little over-eagerness on the part of that front four by the Warhawks.
You mentioned that idea of staying home. That's one of the tough things to do with that kind of double wing look. But you don't want to go running where you first think the ball's going. You got to let your guards be your key. They'll take the defense to the ball.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 upcoming. Just get a look at the Germantown sideline. Mojica, air it out. Blitz is coming, penalty markers down, and completes the pass at the 30-yard line. Making the catch, Tommy Willer, Jr., 6'2", but we'll check out our first penalty of the ball game. Maybe coming back for a hold here as Steve Breester and his crew sort this one out.
Mojica got away with one there, kind of throwing off his back foot, lobbing it down there. Worked out in a sense that the receiver was able to come back to the ball, obviously negated by that holding call.
So holding against Cedarburg negates the first down in Germantown territory. Move the football back to the 30-yard line. So set up a 3rd and about 20 here for the Bulldogs. Clock rolling, 7 minutes to go here in our first quarter. Just joining us, Stever, 55-yard touchdown run for Cedarburg on their opening drive. This is their second possession. Stever again circles up the middle, same play, big hole, takes it across the 40, across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Pickup of 16 by Stever that time on the exact play they scored that touchdown on their last drive.
Right, come back the other way, a little of that inside power game.
Zach Van Buscom, we'll watch the replay here. Buscom stepping up right there to make the play. Gain of 16 brings up 4th and 4 for Cedarburg. You're in that middle of the field area here, Coach, where you probably think about going for it here with the 6-point lead.
Now Stever is their punter. You wonder all of a sudden if they're going to do a quick kick or something.
Everybody around. We got a penalty marker down from the back judge. Too much time. Delay game here against the Bulldogs.
The 2 penalties now have really stymied a little bit of momentum that Cedarburg was building. So I'm sure that something as the game wears on, Coach Lehara is going to try to make sure it gets under control.
Stever will punt now following the 5-yard penalty. It's off a good end-over-end kick. Wiederman will let bounce inside the 20. Rolling dead inside the 5. Will they touch it before it goes in? Yes, they will.
No.
Nope, didn't quite. Thought the official was going to mark it there at the 1, but Gunner getting downfield quickly was Russo, and unfortunately touched the end zone. I think he made contact with the ball.
As he tried to slide to get that, I think his feet were on the goal line.
This will be our first quarter break. A 55-yard touchdown run by Stever for the Bulldogs, and Cedarburg has jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Stever's 55-yard touchdown run, and it's a 6-0 Cedarburg lead here early. We're midway through our first quarter here in Germantown tonight. Key North Shore battle this evening. North Shore Conference rivals here. Cedarburg has won the last 6 in this series. Third possession of the night now. Wayne Lawhorn will work from the gun. Wants to throw. Going down the far sideline, leaping, grab made inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Steve Doran, the 6'4" senior wideout, with the reception, and Germantown strikes big.
Another one of those two-way players for Germantown. Fantastic. He's got 5 receptions for over 100 yards this year and 2 touchdowns.
37-yard pickup. That nice heave there. Just drops that in. Just went up and got it. Overgrows that time and took it away. From the 43. Lemeron trying the right side. Taking tacklers with them inside the 40. Wrestled down short of the 35-yard line. Good strong run by Joe Lemeron, a 5'11" senior, second team all-conference. Russo again bringing him down as we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, offensive coaches for Cedarburg talking about keeping their pad level down a little bit, and don't be surprised if we see the spread coming here the next time Cedarburg gets the ball, just to see what Germantown does.
Gain of 6 by Lemeron, second down and 4. Horn will get the signal, then we'll check it down off that wristband for the play. Got twins left and right, single back is Lemeron. Read option, Lawhorn will keep it. Got to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it, maybe a yard. Tyler Watson, the defensive end, the senior captain on that defense, able to bring him down.
As long as they can keep Lawhorn running sideways, it looks good. We've seen before when Lemeron takes that ball, he loves to hit and spin, keeps his momentum going up the field.
Third and a long 3 here for Germantown. Trips to the right side, single receiver, single coverage here on the near side. Run the option, the pitch back to Lemeron, trying to get the edge, and he is stood up and driven back, did not get it. A very stout Bulldog defense, and then a late penalty marker coming down after the tackle. Lucas Rozak was there, the senior, leading the way for Cedarburg.
Excellent flow by Cedarburg getting to that ball. The pursuit was really exceptional. Now we have to see against whom are we going to get this penalty call.
Here's it's going to go against Cedarburg. They're talking to Germantown here. It's a face mask penalty. Let's take one more look here, see if we can pick it up. It's right at the end of the run as Lemeron is getting ushered to the sideline. Couldn't really see there. It was the line judge over there right in front that threw the late flag. So 1st and 10 for the Warhawks via the penalty here. Lemeron again will dive over the right side inside the 30, short of the 25-yard line.
Cedarburg's
Bibby, the linebacker, was there.
Cedarburg's giving them that look of jamming both receivers and playing a safety over the top. Then they're trying to stunt out of that motion, and one of those outside backers inside to put a little pressure on with a blitz.
Gain of 4, second down 6, ball at the 26-yard line, and Lawhorn wants to throw, comes back near side, man wide open, catch at the 5, touchdown Germantown, Connor Schultz. A beautifully thrown ball hits Schultz in stride inside the 10, and he streaks into the end zone on that play. What a beautiful pass, a great reception, and a great finish on the part of Connor Schultz.
It's one of those patterns that drives defensive back coaches nuts. They run a wheel pattern, bring that outside guy in, inside guy wheels up the field down the sideline.
Jonathan Stever, the free safety, was the man in containment there. Let Schultz get past him, and extra point away from taking the lead. Carter Schmitz, second team all-conference place kicker. Get this one up and through. Germantown takes their first lead, 7-6 here. With just over 3 minutes remaining in our first quarter. Let's get our first visit of the night from Kara down on the sideline.
Thank you very much, guys. I've got Sergeant Bastida down here with the United States Marine Corps. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, why do people join the Marine Corps?
Well, people join for plenty of reasons. For instance, a lot of people join for education or maybe technical skills. We offer over 300 jobs in the Marine Corps, which can provide a lot for them, outside the Marine Corps.
And why did you join the Marines?
Oh, I joined for plenty of reasons. One was to get out of my home state. Another one was a challenge. I just wanted to get out there and do bigger things than what I was facing in college.
And now, why do you think it's important to support your community and youth sports?
I believe it's very important to support the community in youth sports for mostly the commitment. It's a big commitment to get out there with the teams, and it's to keep the kids out of trouble.
Absolutely. And thank you again very much for being here, and an extra thank you for your service, especially on a day of remembrance like today.
Well, thank you.
And now back to you guys.
Kara, thank you so much. An 80-yard drive capped off, or I should say aided by that face mask penalty, 6 plays. And the pass to Connor Schultz finishing off that drive. Shabasta and Sylvester standing deep. And this one will go to Sylvester inside the 5. Up the middle and met before he got to the 20-yard line. Beautiful special teams play that time by Austin Masden. Masden, a senior, also a linebacker on that defense for Germantown. Well, this fall, television's biggest phenomenon is taking over My24. Don't miss The Walking Dead. From the beginning, Wednesdays at 7, starting October 1st, only on Milwaukee's My24. Not to be confused with John and Terry, I don't think, right?
No chance of that.
Try it up the middle again, a gain of about 5. Try and power their way up.
Got a little wrinkle on that play. They fake that sweep look. Quarterback keeps it, takes it right up to center.
We were wondering how much of that he would be able to do. Mojica coming back from a shoulder injury suffered in week 2, missed the game last week. Keep it again, trying to go up the middle, nothing doing there as he was dropped immediately. I think it was Lincoln Gruber, that second team all-conference. He's got some offers. I think North Dakota State, I think Coach was telling us about Gruber's possibilities at college.
Yeah, and you're watching Mike Mojica, who's a 3-year starter for Cedarburg. That's why, they missed him a week ago, although his replacement, Max Ray, stepped in, did a nice job as well. So we'll try to see what little wrinkle they were going to try to add as they work into this on 3rd down.
3rd and 4, play action fake. Mojica wants to go over the middle, completes to Stever across the 35 at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and Durzan and Menard first down for the Cedarburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, basically a one-man route. We watch Mojica in practice. He's not trying to throw the long downfield bombs like Dwayne LaHorn Jr. is, but he wants that 15 to 20-yard strike and gets it in there real quickly.
At the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. This will be Shabesta trying to power his way across the 37, maybe the 39-yard line, pickup of about 2. Austin Madsden again was there for the Warhawks.
A little cross-buck action in the backfield. A little X action out of those backs. Once again, defense has to practice staying home.
Brian Lier, the head coach for the Cedarburg Bulldogs, in your picture there. Also the offensive coordinator for this Bulldog team. They try and run the outside sweep to the left, and the Warhawks were ready. Nothing doing for Stever that time. A whole host of Warhawks led by Kyle Tice as we take one more look. Nice right there. Nice wrap up there. Loss of 5 will bring up a 3rd and 12 here with under a minute remaining in our first quarter.
Tice was a second-team all-conference selection last year, also a basketball player on a fine Germantown basketball team.
3rd and 12. They'll send Stever out as the single wing. Mojica goes back to the left, throws the screen to Shabesta, and he's wrapped up immediately as he makes the catch just across the 35-yard line. Nice job defending there by Steve Doran, the outside linebacker for Germantown.
Excellent reaction. They got that action looking, they're going to the right, throwing it all the way back to the left, but he stayed home, stopped that play.
That will end our first quarter here in Germantown. Datka Stadium in Germantown. Thursday Night Lights, the North Shore Conference tilt. Warhawks up by 1, 7-6 Germantown on My 24. Cedarburg facing 4th and 12 as our second quarter gets underway in Germantown. Warhawks leading by 1. Stever to punt this one away. It's off a nice kick, floater out to Wiederman. Wiederman inside the 30, across the 30, and he is dropped there. Again, great coverage on special teams by Cedarburg. Russo getting down there. That's the second time tonight on special teams. He's contributed with a solo tackle. We'll start this drive at their own 30-yard line. 80 yards, 6 plays on that last drive, and Connor Schultz touchdown reception capping off that drive. This is the quarter where the Warhawks make their hay. I was looking up the numbers this week. They've outscored their opponents 76-7 in the second quarter this season.
That momentum builds, and you can see here they've got a 2-by-2 formation. We'll see what they think they can do with this.
Lemeron is the single back. Wayne Lawhorn Jr. at quarterback. Fake to Lemeron. They'll toss it out here to the near side across the 30 and out of bounds near the 32-yard line. First reception of the night for Carter Schmitz. Pulls up as the kicker here for Germantown, second team all-conference.
Garrett Sylvester made a nice play. All of a sudden you find yourself isolated on the outside, but he used the sideline kind of as his helper.
That back about 2 on the play. Second down, 8 upcoming. Lawhorn wants to throw. Comes back near side again, and another drop. This time Schmitz unable to hang on. It goes incomplete, setting up 3rd and long. All season long, Mike and Carol will have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, letting you know about the great things going on in the communities we visit. Our sideline reports being brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. 3rd and 7 from their own 33. Slot receiver to the left. Lawhorn with time. Back to the near side. Schmitz again made the catch, but he's going to be short of the first down stick by about a yard as he caught that to keep the feed in and then fell out of bounds short of the first down.
It's going to be interesting to see what Germantown is going to decide, although they didn't even hesitate. They weren't going to give up field position this side of the 50, even though they were within about a yard. So field position becomes a key as far as Germantown is concerned.
Zorn will come in to punt. Stever standing deep. Nice high spiraling kick. Stever over his head, lets it bounce inside the 20, skips inside the 15, and will roll dead at the 11-yard line.
I'm sure the special teams coach is going to talk with Stever a little bit. He was playing up really short, and I don't know if they were expecting a short kick, but he allowed what would have been maybe an average punt to turn into an above-average punt, letting it roll.
I want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Light links. You'll also find complete game videos and photos from our games all season long. Just across their own 10-yard line, 1st and 10 Cedarburg. They trail by 1. Mojica rolling right, wants to throw right, has a man out there, and the catch is made short of the 24-yard line. Stever on the reception that time. Justin Gross brings him down.
They had those two wingbacks set in the slots. Gives them, different ways to run the same pass plays, whether you're setting them out as flankers or have them inside as slot wings.
Gain of 14, 1st and 10 from the 24. They'll pitch it out to Shabesta, trying to cut left side across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. Steve Doran, his second tackle tonight, out there, the outside linebacker for the Warhawks.
Another one of those two-way players, very bright student, 3.7 GPA. I'm sure he's been watching his keys. He's been watching film this week, so he knew how to cut that angle to get in and make that tackle.
Second and about 7. Shabesta, fake it to Shabesta, give it back to Stever down the near sideline across midfield and out of bounds, short of the 40-yard line of the Warhawks. Stever on the carry that time. They fake to Shabesta going right, and Mojica doing a nice job carrying out that fake. It was it looked like a little razzle-dazzle there. They did get it to Shabesta, who then tossed it right back to Stever. Move the couch, Martha. It's coming right at you. 1st and 10 again for Cedarburg, this time in Germantown territory. This time it's Shabesta for a couple. Tice was there defensively for Germantown.
Cedarburg with a little cross actions, trying to set up angle blocking for their line to come down. They get them looking one way, they pinch them inside and cut the back through the opposite direction.
2nd down, 8. Ball at the Warhawk 43-yard line. This time Mojica picks his way over the left side, gets it inside the 40 before he is stood up and driven back. Mojica, the quarterback, on the keep that time. Nick Schneider leading the defense that time, the free safety in on the stop.
Mojica is not hesitant to take that ball up inside.
So 3rd and 3 from the 43. This time working under center, Mojica. Give to Shabesta, works his way across the right side, has the first down. Shabesta on a nice run that time, lined up left wing, came around the right side, and gets the first down for the Bulldogs.
There's virtually no splits with those linemen as they line up. That's the old-fashioned double wing that Cedarburg became famous for. Now they're kind of adjusting, doing different things.
It's time to go the other way with Stever, and he has stood up and driven back. And Steve Doran leading the charge that time defensively for the Warhawks. Also in on that stop, Austin Masden. Masden, a 5'9" senior, working off that inside linebacker position.
You've got those two tough defensive ends anchoring that outside, and so Cedarburg's trying to get that little crack inside of those guys.
Tight splits across the line here on 2nd and 10. Mojica wants to throw with time, coming back, has a man in the end zone, and it is picked off, intercepted. Nice play defensively back there by Schneider. Nick Schneider stepping in front of the intended receiver, picking off in the end zone for the Warhawks.
For a second, it looked like we were going to have the Green Bay-Seattle game from a year ago as to who was going to come up with the ball and who'd get credited, but the defensive back hangs in there.
It was Willer, the tight end, going against Schneider, the safety. You can see Schneider a bit underthrown, and Schneider was able to step in front of Willer for the pick. So the first turnover of the game goes the way of the Warhawks here, the interception in the end zone. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Leading by 1 here as we approach the midway point of our second quarter. tried the left, cut it back up the middle, found some room, diving across the 30, out to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 12 that time by the fine run by Joe Lemeron, the senior running back for Germantown.
Very patient as he waited for his lineman to get those blocks in, and he just kind of picked his way, started up inside, and then veered to the outside. Good patience.
Officially a pickup of 13, another Durzon and Menard first down for Germantown. And Lemeron the single back, 2 by each side on the wideouts. Lemeron again slipped just a little bit as he was going to make a cut off that left side and hit the turf for no gain. Let's watch it here. There, he was going to try and cut back to the left. He saw a little daylight there between the end and the linebacker and just lost his footing. Second down and 10 for Germantown. 7 minutes to go in the half. Warhawks leading by 1. Play action fake. Lawhorn going down the far sideline. 2 receivers out there, and it was Karch trying to make a diving grab on the numerals that time. It's defended well out there by Russo.
One of the ways that Cedarburg's defending that 2-by-2, they've got that single free safety who's trying to slide to whichever side the ball's in the air to. Germantown's going to try to see if they can outnumber them inside and get that advantage on the run. So it's kind of a chess match going on here between the 2 coaches.
My bad, that was corner Jack Deming out there in coverage on Karch that time. 3rd and 10 here for Germantown. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Lemeron in motion, everybody going out. With time, Lemeron with the catch. Out across the 40, going to be short of the first down by about a couple here. They'll give him the 40, gain of 7, sets up a 4th and 3. Garrett Sylvester, the strong safety, making the tackle. It would appear Germantown is going to punt as we take one more look. Punt here by Zorn. Short kick, takes a nice bounce inside the 20 once again, angling toward the 10 and dies just short of the 10-yard line. So 48-yard punt, no return, and so Cedarburg, just over 6 minutes to go here, gets the ball back trailing by 1 as we head back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, here with the superintendent, Jeff Holmes, Principal Joel Farron. Joel, so far so good. Good year so far, huh? It's early, but it's good.
Yeah, 3-0 and big game tonight against a great team. So we're up right now, and they'll be coming back though. It'll be a tough game.
Hey, lot talked about athletically here at Germantown, but academically, school district really strong, great reputation.
Yes, Germantown has one of the greatest reputations in the state, and I greatly appreciate about them the fact that we are extremely balanced in both academics and athletics. It's a great credit to our staff, it's a great credit to our parents, and most of all, it's a great credit to our students. It is a fantastic place for both athletics and academics, and I greatly appreciate the work that everybody puts into making this a great place.
You know what? He's a good principal, too. Does a good job. You know what? I hear good things about you boys. Thank you very much. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Mike, thank you. Stever on that last carry for a pickup of 4. They'll try it again, trying to get the edge here. Great pursuit by the Warhawk defense. They'll only get a couple out of it. Went out of bounds just across the 20-yard line. So he's going to mark him actually pretty close to the first down here. That second effort leap across the 20 might have bought him a first down. Let's see.
Now, Kyle Tice did a nice job. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he kept forcing him to the sidelines, didn't give him the chance to break it upfield. So this measurement is going to be pretty tight.
I think by the nose of the ball. Again, it's on the near sideline where the chains are, so they don't have to go too far here to measure this one up, and it is indeed a first down.
I believe that makes you 4 for 4 for this season in terms of calling those measurements. So
I could have had that back in the day when I was playing high school ball. 4 for 4. It usually meant 4 strikeouts. So 1st and 10 for Cedarburg. They lead by 1. Mojica. Hand it off. Shabesta breaks a tackle, cuts it back up the middle across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. Gain of 8, maybe 9 on the play.
Good hard rush. You can see him churning away inside. Coming into this game, he already had 75 carries. That was the most of anybody in the top 10 rushers in the Milwaukee area.
Snap it quickly here. Heading forward near the first down stick is Shabesta again. Brought down by Masden, the senior linebacker.
Got Alex Bothy in there at the center, 6'3", 292 pounds, right at that center position. Help get that surge. Either side of him, you got a 213-pounder in Ryan Hom. You got Spencer Elagio, a 5'11", 185-pound senior, and they're getting a good surge coming off the ball.
It's another Durzan and Menard first down. We want to let you know all season long, Durzan and Menard will be making a donation to the Thursday Night Lights teams for each first down made during our telecasts. Shabasta will take it just short of the 38-yard line. And later on tonight, we'll have a chance to talk with Alan Durzan. There you see the family there during our American Family Insurance halftime report.
You can see why Germantown said one of the things we've got to try to do is not let Cedarburg control the clock. Meanwhile, Cedarburg wants to what? Slow the game down. They've got the ball. Germantown can't score that.
2nd and 6 from the 37. Stever trying to get the edge on the right side. Good string out by the defense. They'll get it out near the 40-yard line and out of bounds there. Stever on a good strong run. Again, good pursuit by the Germantown defense. They strung that out well as we'll take one more look.
Takes you back to the old Packer glory days as you saw both guards pull, get around that end. I mentioned Fuzzy and Jerry to kids nowadays, and they look at you like you're from the planet Mongo.
Fuzzy Thurston and Jerry Kramer. Packer sweep. A seal here and a seal here and up the alley. I believe is how that went. A play fake to Stever. It's Mojica, and he'll be buried. May have lost a yard there. Good defense that time. Staying home was Cole Karch along with Justin Gross.
Yeah, they tried a little deception there, and obviously defensive coordinator Dave Bronski had his guys well schooled. Nobody left their responsibilities. They stayed home. It'll be interesting to watch now. We've noticed when Stever does the punt, we get kind of that rugby style punt. I imagine he's got the okay. If he sees a seam, he'll take off.
That's a spread punt where it's a read spread where if you see the ends go, you can run it. This time they'll go for it on 4th down. Play action fake. They'll toss it out, and is it a catch or not? It is indeed a reception by Stever short of the 45. I was watching one back judge watching us. The ball was tipped, and he actually hung on to it. Nice concentration that time by Stevers. That was tipped at the line. Justin Gross was out there in coverage. Not sure who got a hand on it up front, but credit Stever that time for keeping his eye on the ball. 3 minutes to go here in the half. Mojica across midfield, still on his feet, close to another Durzan Menard first down, just short of the 45-yard line. Good strong run by Mojica, not showing any signs of that shoulder problem that kept him out of week 3.
Well, when Mike did his pregame show and they talked about toughness being one of the earmarks of the Cedarburg team, you've got your quarterback demonstrating that right now, and that certainly inspires the rest of the team to match that intensity.
They'll bring the sticks out. Half of football, it'll be a Durzan Menard first down. Friday night from 7 to 10, Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Mike McGivern and Ron Davies. And folks, Ron Davies is here tonight. We'll get you the update from all of the key high school football games in the area. That's tomorrow night from 7 to 10, only on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. It's like Metro Conference Old Home Week this week. Talking with Ron Davies, the Messmer and Marquette, Kenosha St. Joe and everything. Reminiscing. Shabesta with a nice carry on first down. Pickup of a couple, and this is exactly what Cedarburg wants to do. Milk the clock, move the sticks, and here late in the first half, they'd like to punch this one and finish this drive off.
Well, you look at the clock, and here we're headed down towards the 2-minute mark, and it's just flying by, and that's what happens when you've got a team that likes to run the ball. And notice that Cedarburg has been mixing the pass in just to keep them honest.
Shabesta then to Stever. Stever diving inside the 40. Nice tackle made there by Kyle Tice. We've called his number a couple of times tonight. The second team all-conference inside linebacker.
A little inside reverse, a little inside handoff. Your backs have to be as good as handling the ball as your quarterback. So that comes day after day from their practice.
From the 39, it'll be 3rd and 3. Mojica will keep it. First down and more. Mike Mojica down to the 30-yard line where he stood up there. Clock will stop while they move the sticks in high school ball, and a nice strong run up the middle by Mojica. Schneider with the stop for the Warhawks.
You see they even fold big Kyle Pullum around. All of a sudden you've got a 6'3", 298-pound man pulling through the hole. Makes that linebacker take a second look at things.
Just short of the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, play action fake. Mojica going to swing it out far side, completes to Stever. Wrapped up inside the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. Stever with that 55-yard touchdown run, the only score for Cedarburg coming on their first drive on 3rd down tonight. Now we get a timeout taken here by Cedarburg.
Well, that last.
This will be our commercial break here for the second quarter. A 1-point ball game. Marching toward the end zone is Cedarburg. Can they cap this drive off? We'll have it for you when we come back on My 24. Cedarburg down 1 with the ball late here in this second quarter. Hey, it's a college football triple header Saturday on My 24. A full day of action from the gridiron kicks off at 11 a.m. Louisville battles Virginia in the ACC Game of the Week. My 24, my place for sports. 5 remaining here, 2 timeouts in the pocket. Mojica wants to throw again. Plenty of time, good protection, now on the scramble. Gonna dump it off near side, incomplete, looking for Stever inside the 15. First miss of the night for Mojica. 5 out of 6 now for 34 yards tonight from Mike Mojica.
Yeah, Stever seems to be his favorite target. Jonathan also plays baseball. A couple of those catches we've seen him make demonstrate some of those baseball skills as he goes down to dig that ball out.
Facing 3rd and 4. At the 25-yard line. Fake by Mojica, he'll keep it. Tries to pick his way around the right side. Couldn't quite break it around the right end. Mojica will take it close. Looks like maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards shy. Let's see, about a yard. Timeout will be taken here by Cedarburg once again. Their second, coming with 36 seconds to go. Let's get a look at Brian Lier, head coach and the offensive coordinator here for the Bulldogs.
You know, one of the important plays within this last series is 2 plays ago when Justin Gross made that tackle in bounds. That forced Cedarburg to take their first time out. Now they've had to, on 4th down here, take the second. We're down at that 36-second mark. And so Coach Liera had talked to us during the week. His place kicker's got a strong leg, but some question about whether that consistency. So I'm sure as he's kind of going through his options here, he'd like to at least get, if he can't get the touchdown, he wants to get a little closer to help set the kicker up.
Let's head downstairs once again. A Menard sideline report with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, last time I listened to Coach Brian Lier, very calm, cool. He said, boys, do you understand what we're trying to accomplish here? He said, make sure that you stand. Do you guys know what we're running? They said, yeah, Coach, we got you. He said, Mike, make sure you don't take a sack. Thought their quarterback did a nice job not getting sacked on that last play.
Mike, thank you. yeah, that's a good point there because he did have some time to throw, and a sack would have been costly there, would have taken them completely out of field goal range. Inside it goes. Stever breaks a tackle. Stever into the end zone. Touchdown, Cedarburg. Well, 2 different tackles, one at the line of scrimmage, one in the third level. And Stever, his second touchdown of the night, puts Cedarburg back on top by 5.
You know, he's their captain. You can see he's part of the heart of this team, the way he plays in both offense and defense.
Up the middle and cut to his right. Broke 2 different tackles at the 10-yard line and takes it in for the score. It looks like they're going to go for 2 here. So Shabesta and Stever will stay in on the wings. Albee will be the fullback. Mojica from under center. Rolling out, being chased from behind, and he's hit as he throws, and it'll go incomplete. The try no good. Good pressure that time off the back edge by Steve Doran. The blindside hit that time on Mojica, forcing the incomplete point after attempt.
Another one of those two-way players. You know, we've mentioned before how bright he is. There's the kind of guy you can give that job on that blitz. He knew exactly how to pick his spot and time it up.
The Bulldogs maintain a 5-point lead as Jake Davis, you see in the picture there, head coach for Germantown. Looking on, and this is playing right up to par here over the last 3 of the last 4 years. This game has been decided by 4 or fewer points. These teams get after each other, and it's a little special for Davis now. He's still looking for that first win as a head coach over Cedarburg.
Kind of one of those head scratchers. You think of the Germantown team we've seen the past couple of years. The one year they came in, knocked off Homestead, but they had already lost that game to Cedarburg in terms of giving them some problems trying to get the title outright in the North Shore Conference.
Just what the doctor ordered here for Cedarburg, taking that clock down as far as they could and capping off the drive with the touchdown run by Stever. His second of the night. Peterman and Schneider standing deep. And the whistle blew before the kick. Not sure what we've got out there. Referee
Mazda.
Stop play.
Soft. Okay, thank you.
So we'll re-kick here. Not sure what the stoppage was for, but we heard the officials whistle before the run-up. Low punch kick that time. It'll bounce at the 20. Schneider will take the sideline and inside the numerals across the 30 out to the 34-yard line. So let's see what Germantown can put together here. Final 25 seconds of this first half. They start at their own 33. They have all 3 timeouts, and again, for a Curzon and Menard first down, the clock will stop when they reset the first down markers. Wayne Lawhorn Jr., 6'4", 191, senior quarterback. Gave to Lemeron. Lemeron up the middle. Stopped just short of the 39-yard line, and a timeout taken here by Germantown. Once again, to the sidelines we go, and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listen to the Cedarburg coaches after that drive. They're very happy. Their head up, it's not finished. They walked away individually. Quarterback, running backs talking, linemen talking, receivers talking, and I'm telling you, this is pretty good for me as an old coach. Watching these kids coach each other up when the coaching staff walks away. I like that. They did a nice job.
Thank you, Mike. We saw a little bit of that in practice on Tuesday. We spent a good portion of that early part of practice talking with Brian Lear, and these kids Guys were out doing their own drills with the position coaches. Didn't have to be told to get out to their spots. They knew exactly what they were doing. A very well-run practice out there at Cedarburg from what we watched on Tuesday.
And Cedarburg on both sides of the ball, a good number of seniors. They've got a strong senior class. A number of these guys are 3- and 4-year starters. And so that maturity is starting to show through. And they've made this game, you know, people I think coming in might have said, a little edge to Germantown. But Cedarburg, once again, their kind of concentration is paying off.
Defense will play 3 deep here, keep everything in front. Lawhorn will work from the gun, 2nd down and 5 from the 38. They come up short, completes to Karch. Karch's first reception across midfield into Cedarburg territory. He'll take it down to the 43 of the Bulldogs. Lawhorn gets them quickly to the line, and looks like we're going to get a Cedarburg timeout here on defense. Wanted to make sure they get things set here. So Cedarburg will burn that final timeout here. Coming with 15 seconds left. And I think a good call here. Brian Lear and your defensive coordinator, John Hannum, want to make sure you've got the right defensive package out there.
Right, you grab the lead, and so now all of a sudden you don't want to set Germantown up to be in a position where they can get that touchdown, kick that extra point, and go in with the lead on you.
Both teams 1-0 in early North Shore Conference play, and big games left coming up.
Well, in that North Shore Conference, obviously everybody knows about Homestead, but you've got a Whitefish Bay team.
Very physical, yep. And we heard from both coaches, that's the first thing they said. We asked them about some of the other teams in the league. We said Whitefish Bay, they said physically very tough team. From the Bulldog 43, 1st and 10, 15 seconds to go. Germantown with 2 timeouts remaining. Lawhorn going to come back, sideline pattern, completes the pass near side. Doran with the catch and out of bounds, stopping the clock short of the 1st down at the 34-yard line.
They probably have time for 2 good plays here. See if they get another out-of-bound play, and then depending on their field position, whether they'll try a kick or whether they're going to try to throw it into the end zone.
Then they'll go 2 by, 2 slots, 4 receivers. Lawhorn with time. Back over the middle, leaping grab by Schultz. Schultz inside the 15, tumbled down at the 8. And timeout taken here by Germantown will stop the clock with 2.5 seconds remaining. Nick Russo perhaps with a touchdown saver on the tackle. Lawhorn, all kinds of time back there. Russo with that submarine tackle may have saved the touchdown right there. Nick Russo, 6'2", senior.
Initially, it looked like Germantown was going to call a timeout and send in their field goal team. Now all of a sudden they're gathering over on the sideline. They're maybe going to rethink it. Do we take the 1 shot? We only have time for the 1 play. It's kind of one of those. You're okay if you make it. If you don't make it, then you start to question yourself.
We've got a quarterback who's a touch passer like Lawhorn. We watched several series of that practice where he was just dumping that ball just over the shoulder, the back shoulder throw. He's working on that, so.
You got Cole Karts at 6'5", you got Carter Schmitz at 6'2", Connor Schultz at 6'1". You've got Steve Dorn, 6'4". He's got some targets to throw that ball to. It kind of depends how much confidence do you have.
Jake Davis talking it over on that far sideline.
So far,
Steve Tennis, the offensive coordinator.
So far, Cedarburg hasn't been able to apply much pressure. So looks like they're going for it.
Well, 2.5 seconds to play in the half, trailing by 5. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Lawhorn rolling left. Now being chased, comes back right, wide open, touchdown! Connor Edmonds with Lawhorn off balance, somehow still got that throw off. And the reception here on the near side as we take one more look. Connor Edmonds, the junior, 6'5". His first touchdown reception of the year, and a big one, puts his team up by 1.
Little crossing pattern. They brought the one tight end across, going to the left of the formation, brought the other tight end across to the right side, left all alone.
Penalty against Cedarburg. So move the try down to the 1.5-yard line. Now you might be thinking of going for 2 here. Up 1 time down here to go for the extra point. You've got a timeout, why not use it? And that's exactly what Jake Davis and Steve Tenney's want to talk about here.
Get that 3-point lead.
Why not? Yeah. You get a look at Jake Davis. Played for Dave Keel up there at Homestead.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a coaching tree, as you've seen. Coaches who've worked with Jake's having a good time, smiling, talking to the official. We'll see if that keeps up the whole game.
An 8-yard touchdown reception by Connor Edmonds here late. A beautifully called play, rolling left, and then all of a sudden you come back right side, and everyone forgot about Edmonds over here, standing all alone. One more look here. Sell out, sell out, sell out, and then you come back left. Falling backwards off his back foot, still had enough on it to find Edmonds at the goal line.
Phil Dotka probably taught him that trickery, make it look that way.
They're going to go for 2. Karch split out here to the near side, trips to the left side, single back is Lemeron. Lawhorn again, just going to toss it up, going up for a grab, and it's incomplete, looking for Karch, defended well, step for step. Miles Groves there out there, the senior corner, number 3.
Little underthrown.
Picture. It was underthrown.
Little underthrown. It gave defensive back a chance to come back, knocked it out of his hands.
But Germantown, with no time on the clock here in this second quarter, able to get into the end zone to take a 1-point lead here at the half. 13-12 as advertised here tonight. We'll break, come back with our American Family Insurance halftime report. 13-12 Germantown on top of Cedarburg. Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Welcome back to the American Family Insurance halftime report. Thursday Night Lights on My 24. 13-12 Germantown leading Cedarburg here this evening, and a very exciting first half of play as we roll into our halftime highlights, brought to you tonight by the U.S. Army, Army Strong, as the teams take the field tonight on this remembrance of 9/11, coming through the GoArmy.com tunnels tonight, Germantown and Cedarburg, and it got off to a quick start here tonight as the Bulldogs forced Germantown to punt on their first possession, and then on 3rd and long, John Stever, his first of 2 touchdowns tonight, this one from 55.
Saw this tackle, Sam Maher, lead his way through the hole, set that up for John Stever.
First of 2 touchdowns tonight for Mr. Stever. And for Germantown, they got on the board here as well. A 16-yard touchdown pass. Beautiful reception over the back shoulder throw to Connor Schultz, the senior.
Excellent throw by Dwayne.
It's a very nice touch with that left-hand toss. That put Germantown up by 1, but Cedarburg came right back. Nice defensive play here by Germantown, the defensive play of the game. Shades of Seattle, Green Bay from a couple of years ago, but a nice wrestle there for the ball, taken away by Nick Schneider defensively. Here's Stever again, this time big run. Nice cut inside the 10, his second touchdown run of the ball game.
You know, you talk about a highlight package, sometimes you see the quarterbacks and so on, but you can't forget the job the linemen are doing.
And this the offensive play of the game. Off his back foot, falling backwards as time expired in the first half. Lawhorn hits Connor Edmonds for the 8-yard touchdown strike. And the try for 2 came up empty. And that's where we stand here, 13-12. Our highlight package brought to you by the U.S. Army, Army Strong. Let's head back downstairs to Kara.
Thank you very much, guys. I've got Sergeant Westland with the United States Army down on the field with me. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Not a problem. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And now, why do most people join the Army? Like, what are some of the reasons to join the Army?
Well, each person has an individual reason for joining the Army, but a lot of them it's for service to country, or they're trying to finance further education. Some want job training, some want to travel, see the world, things like that.
And what is your personal experience? Why did you decide to join?
Well, since I was a little kid, I wanted to be in the Army, but after I graduated from college, I wanted to help pay down my loans, but I also wanted to serve as well. So I was able to finance my education by serving, and I also got to travel to Europe, so I was really happy about that.
Oh yeah, I bet that was quite the experience. And now we've brought the Army down on the field with us today. We're in the perfect venue to find some recruits. Why do you think it's important to support the community and youth sports?
Well, I mean, it's having a presence out in the community. I mean, people, they love us around, but the big thing with youth sports is, I mean, it instills discipline, leadership, team building, those types of things. So, I mean, basically, those are the main reasons to support youth sports.
And you find a lot of those skills on the field and can apply them in the Army.
Oh, absolutely. Typically, the team members for youth sports, they thrive in the military just because of the teamwork and the work ethic that they've had from what they did to develop their athletic abilities.
Well, absolutely. And I want to thank you again for being here tonight, and an extra thank you, especially on a day like today in remembrance of 9/11. So thank you.
Not a problem. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
And back to you guys upstairs.
Kara and Sergeant Westland, thank you, and yes, indeed, thank you to all the men and women of the armed services who serve our country, and to the first responders, including the Germantown Fire Department. We thank you for your service as well. 13-12, Germantown up by 1. Second half kickoff comes your way next here on My 24. One-point Warhawk lead coming on a touchdown as time expired in the second quarter. As we get set for our second half here tonight, and our stat line here after one half of play.
Well, as you look at the rushing yards for Cedarburg compared to Germantown, you're saying, well, maybe the score should be a little bit different, but that's not quite how it works out.
They make up for the passing yardage there, so each team pretty evenly matched as the score here tonight. Bulldogs with that last final drive really thought they had the momentum going into the half, but Germantown taking that momentum with that touchdown pass, that 8-yarder, as time expired.
Now both teams kind of playing to their strengths.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the great folks at Economy Lift Rental for helping bring these great pictures to you tonight. They have provided the scissor lifts for our cameras this season, so for any aerial platform need, rental, sales, or service, call Mike and Sue at Economy Lift Rental or visit them online at economylifts.com. Telephone number 262-650-1882. Talk about playing to your strengths right there. Cedarburg to get the ball to start our second half. Carter Schmitz does the kicking for the Warhawks. Sylvester and Shabesta standing deep. Kicking it away, Schmitz, line drive kick. Shabesta bobbles it, picks it up near the goal line. Out across the 10, gets to the 15 where he is met and driven back there.
You see him
Shabesta
kind
with
of
a nice return. Kyle Winkler out there defensively on special teams, able to come up with the play.
a little bit of that mishandling of the ball, threw off the timing of his blockers, and all of a sudden you think you've got it set up. That extra delay of about 3 seconds gave Germantown a chance to come down and pinch him in.
Mark it at the 14, 1st and 10, Cedarburg. Mohica tonight at one point was 5 for 5 tossing the football. They'll work in under center. Well, wideouts here, double wing. And Mojica wants to throw, ball tipped at the line, it's intercepted. Picked off by Doran, into the end zone for the touchdown. Steve Doran able to pick that one off and dance it into the end zone. Outside linebacker will get another look here momentarily. Just tipped it right to himself at the 15 and runs it in 15 yards for the score.
Kind of a surprise that you're a running team, you're down in your own territory. You came out, you're trying to maybe get that element of surprise, but an excellent play by Dorn takes that and turns it into 6 quick ones for Germantown.
Schmitz on to attempt the extra point. Gruber will snap, Winkler on the hold. And it's to the uprights and through. So just like that, last play to end the first half and the first play from scrimmage to start the second half, and Germantown finds the end zone. Again, a reminder, Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's my24milwaukee.com. Jake Davis, head coach for Germantown, got to be feeling pretty good right now. Both sides of the ball contributing here. One at the end of the first half, and his defense here to start the second half.
Dorn used his 6'4" height that time to real good advantage to go up, knock that ball up in the air, take it back in, run in for the score.
Real quickly, let's head downstairs. Menard's sideline report with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, Brian Lear met his quarterback after that and said, look, that's on me. Don't worry about it. That's on me. That's a fluke play. Didn't see that coming. Just keep your head in the game. That's on me.
He'll take some of the pressure off of his quarterback. Again, missed last week with an injury, coming back this week. And Brian Lear being the head coach and the offensive coordinator, kind of hard to fire the offensive coordinator on that play, I would think.
Now you see how the coach cares for the young man. Doesn't want him to take that burden on himself. That's a perfect illustration why he's in this game.
Sylvester from the 2. Cuts it back, got across the 15, and he is leveled at the 16-yard line. That was Austin Mazden. Doubles up as a linebacker and also plays special teams. A sophomore able to make the play.
Yeah, initially we've been reporting him as a senior. I think that goes on my shoulder for misrepresenting it. It's basically a senior defense, but he is a sophomore doing an outstanding job.
Shabesta carried up just shy of the 20-yard line. Nick Schneider was there, the safety, in on the stop. So Germantown with the momentum now.
Saw them come down on that kickoff, how fired up they were. Got a good solid tackle. Now, obviously they'd like to get 3 and out. On the other hand, Cedarburg needs to keep the chains moving.
2nd and 6 from the 20. Shabesta trying to get the outside, has a hole. Takes it across the 25, out near the 30-yard line. Should have enough for a Durzan and Menard first down. Shabesta, leading rusher in the North Shore Conference, Alex Shabesta.
Once again, you see those 2 guards pulling around, leading that play, getting that surge up the field.
Again, we'd like to thank Durzan and Menard, our first down sponsor all season long. 1st and 10, Cedarburg. Shabesta again across the 30, out to the 33-yard line where he is tripped up there. Officials stop play here. Cedarburg player down. Not what Brian Lear needs here is another injury.
He's got a couple of players already out for the season. He had 4 other guys who are going to have to miss this game with assorted injuries. And so you can at least afford to lose another one when you're a little bit short players.
Appears to be the fullback, Nick Albee, junior fullback for Cedarburg. Well, the most anticipated new show of the season is speeding on to CW18 from the makers of Arrow. Don't miss The Flash. Tuesdays at 7, starting October 7th on the CW18.
Yeah, it looks like Nick's got an ankle the way he's hobbling to the sideline. See who comes in as his replacement.
2nd down, 6. The ball at the 32-yard line. And Stever with a nice run up the left side. Takes it across the 40, out to the 44-yard line, a 12-yard pickup. Stever shaken up after that tackle.
It's kind of interesting. Shabesta is the guy that comes in with the bigger numbers, but Stever certainly has had his day today carrying that ball.
2 touchdowns on the night so far for Jonathan Stever, the senior captain on this Bulldog team. 1st and 10 from the 44. Mojica high stepping his way, fumble the football. It's on the turf, recovered by Germantown. Coming up with it is Gruber, Lincoln Gruber on the fumble recovery. Mojica, the quarterback, coughed it up. He leapt over the defender right at the line of scrimmage, and as he was coming down, lost control of the football, and it was Gruber, Lincoln Gruber, with the recovery.
He was running really tall as you see him go into the hole, and then he gets a hard hit, came right through.
Might have been Kyle Tice. Let's take a look. Right there.
Number 28.
Tice, yep. Tice with the forced fumble and Gruber with the recovery. So we got a timeout here for, looks like a Cedarburg player down.
I think it's
Race. Yeah, that might be Mojica that is down, and Max Race loosening up here. Played pretty well last week in the win over, was it Milwaukee Lutheran?
Milwaukee Lutheran game.
Yeah. Touchdown pass last week, 6 for 11, and there's Mojica. And again, coming in, had the dinged up shoulder. You have to wonder if maybe he re-aggravated that injury.
Yeah, it was a good, solid, hard hit. Playing through him, it was a little tall as he came through the hole. Sometimes that little shock, there's that instantaneous pain, and you're gonna, ball's gonna slip out on occasion.
Let's head to the sideline, a Menard sideline report with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, so my niece is a sophomore at Germantown. This is her friend Kendall. Who's your favorite uncle?
Uncle Muko.
That's me, Uncle Muko. I thought she'd say somebody else. You know what? Germantown's been good for her. She's a good student, nice kid, hangs out with good people. Go Germantown.
Uncle Muko.
There's probably a lot of other names he's called by his nieces and nephews, but
I know a few of them.
Well, he is a great guy. I think we give Mike a lot of grief, but the job that he does promoting high school sports, football, basketball, his coaches show, all designed to bring attention to what these kids do each and every day.
Somewhere out there's Dick Basham wanting to know, why didn't I know he was Uncle Muko?
There might be an email going out later tonight to Uncle Muko from Dick.
Well, they are still tending to the injured Cedarburg player out near the 40-yard line. So while they continue to tend to the injured player, we'll head back downstairs to Kara this time with a special interview.
Hi there, I've got Keith Valerius, owner of For Light Home Solutions.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you very much for being here tonight. Can you tell me a little bit about For Light Home Solutions?
Sure, we're a full-service window and door company. We also do additions. We do windows, roofing, siding, basements, kitchens, bathrooms, whatever you need.
And so you guys offer it all. Now, I read that you guys have been in the Metro Milwaukee area for quite a while, so you're obviously waist deep in our community. Why do you think it's important to be a part of youth sports?
Well, youth sports is really important because if you look around here with all the kids here, as they get older, lessons learned in sports, they really carry over. And if you look at a lot of sports teams and that, a lot of people talk about that sports is really important to them. Adults, obviously, we all know that. So,
kind of brings your community together.
It does, absolutely.
And what is your personal experience with youth sports?
My personal experience with youth sports, I played sports in high school. A daughter, Abby, she plays volleyball at Grafton. A little shout out to the volleyball team there at Grafton. So it's really great, though. I mean, just again, as you look around here, all the kids here, it's just all the energy. It's great.
Well, we're super happy to have you here, so thank you very much for being here.
Sure, thanks a lot.
And back to you guys.
Kara, thank you very much. Well, appears to be a serious injury here to the Cedarburg player, and they're going to be bringing the rescue squad into the stadium here. So you get a look at the Germantown offense.
Well, we can only hope that they're just, making many of these steps, taking them as precautionary measures. You don't want to hypothesize what the injury might be. We know that Mike Mojica is a very tough, hard-nosed kid, and so I'm sure his teammates, want to see him get back out there. But the first and primary concern for the coaching staff and the training staff is his well-being, and so they're being extremely cautious, trying to take all the measures necessary.
This is why at most of the high school events you have the community first responders here, the Germantown Rescue Squad personnel here on site, just as a precaution here, and we'll tend to this injury. While they do that, we'll take our third quarter break here. 10:04 remaining here in the third quarter. Germantown just taking the lead on that tipped interception returned by Steve Doran, 16 yards in for the touchdown, and they lead it here by a score of 20-12. When we come back, Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Eight-point Germantown lead here. We're early in the third quarter, and play has been halted here due to an injury. Mike Mojica, quarterback for the Cedarburg Bulldogs, being tended to, and try and get a report as soon as we can. I'd like to remind you, Saturday mornings from 10 to noon, it's Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Coaches Show, presented by your local Pick and Save stores. It's a football coaches' wives show this Saturday. Mike McGivern will have in studio Linda Cook. That's Joe Cook's wife, Emily Iverson, the wife of Clay Iverson, and Rhonda Trickey, Jeff Trickey's wife, to discuss the good, bad, and ugly parts of being football coaches' wives. That's Saturdays at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
Well, those wives are a special breed of people. Trust me. I coached for 42 years, and the support I received, I never could have done the job without the support of my wife, Peg. I think every single coach who's married understands probably over half of your success is due to that wonderful spouse.
It takes a very special patience, I would think, and understanding of time, and where your time commitments are from August through November.
Well, Mike's going to find he'll be challenged by those three ladies, and once again, I think Mike will be shocked that we're giving him some props, but that fine job that he does. He looks for the angles. He wants people to get a good understanding of what high school sports are all about. It's not wins and losses, it's people.
Let's head back down to the sideline and Kara.
Hey guys, I know you're giving all that love to Mike, and that's wonderful, but I'm still on the field too. I know I don't have as much insight into the game as he does, but I just wanted to give a quick thank you to one of our sponsors, Samson and Delilah Salon. They're located in Wauwatosa Village. If you want to get in touch with one of their independent stylists, just check them out on Facebook at Samson and Delilah Salon. And if you mentioned that you heard about them in our TNL game tonight, you can get 10% off your first service. So back to you.
Kara, we like you just as much. Yes,
well,
we
thank
do.
You.
Yes, we do.
You're much more attractive than Mike, but we're,
Hey, I'll take it anytime.
we won't be calling you Uncle Muko, that's for sure.
I don't want to be called Uncle Muko.
The good thing that we've noticed is Mike's, moving around leads you to think that maybe what he has is perhaps a separated shoulder or something with that clavicle, collarbone area. So, once again, he's got expert care. All these teams now have training staffs. Most of them have a trainer connected with a particular doctor's office. And so these athletes are exposed to nothing but top-notch care.
Placing Mike Mojica onto the stretcher here. Again, the Germantown fire personnel here. They're on site, along, as you mentioned, the athletic training staff for Germantown was out there immediately as well. So as soon as we get word, we will pass that on to you. Got a big ball game next week, Terry. We're headed back to Brookfield in a big rivalry game. That'll be Brookfield Central against Brookfield East with a new twist. Jed Kennedy now the head coach over at Brookfield Central.
Right, the Battle of Brookfield. And, it's in the Metro Conference next week is what they call Rivalry Week. They match up Marquette with Tosa East, West Allis Central plays West Allis Hale, Menominee Falls goes against its neighbor, the Sussex Hamilton Chargers. And so our featured game is going to bring together two well-known coaches, Jed Kennedy, Tom Swiddle. That's been a very tight contest the past 3 years, so we're expecting just a bang-up game.
It'll be Brookfield Central at Brookfield East. That'll be next Thursday at 7 right here on My 24. And a great slate of games all season long. They've been all exciting, all right down to the wire, and it's exciting races shaping up. Some big upsets last weekend. Indian Trail in Kenosha upsetting Oak Creek, who pretty much to a coach said Oak Creek and Franklin were going to be challenging for that league title, and now all of a sudden Indian Trail has stepped up and knocked down one of the Goliaths in that conference.
Right, Oak Creek, we knew they had some size and some folks coming back. They're getting a lot of notice, but the thing we've heard about Indian Trail, they have a couple of extremely fast backs to take care of some of that size. They negate that to a degree.
You know, the other surprise, I was watching the highlights last week and reading the box scores, and Arrowhead continuing to struggle. They had their hands full with Kettle Moraine last week. They've had a big ball game this week over at Carroll University against Catholic Memorial.
You know, Bill Young at the start of the season said, you know, he's always going to kind of sound like the world is coming to an end at Catholic Memorial. He's got excellent line. He's got a couple of really hard-nosed running backs that have been around for 2 years. He does a fantastic job preparing them. And Arrowhead is a young team. We saw that against Homestead. They've got a tremendous amount of talent, and they are also well coached. So that'd be one of those games, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, I might head out to Carroll and take that one in.
On the turf at the Pioneers Stadium down there at Carroll University. Let's go to the sideline. Mike, I think you've got an update?
Yeah, you know, I do. They're going to take him to Children's Hospital. Arms moving, legs moving. He's talking back, answering questions correctly, a little bit out of it. And they said, look, we're just going to take him and we'll get him to Children's and check him. His mom's going to follow down. But I think it was a tough hit, and I think he got dinged up pretty good, but I think he's going to be okay.
Mike, thank you. Nobody likes to see anyone get hurt, particularly a serious injury where you have to be taken from the field of play. But again, the precautions, as we said, that the athletic training, the fire department personnel that are on site here, all this just simply as a precaution. And do the scans and the x-rays when they get to the hospital.
Yeah, you're certainly going to err on the side of caution, and that, you know, I know that there's all kinds of talk about concussions and injuries, and I think we mentioned in a previous broadcast, other sports also have these injuries. Sometimes maybe they're shining a light on just football, and I think football has always tried to respond to any safety concerns, and they've done stuff with the equipment. They're studying what we do in terms of techniques, and so they're trying to make this as safe a sport as it is, because it is a fantastic sport. And once again, we're getting a sign of that. We wish Mike well, and his teammates certainly are pulling for him, and you know, that's part of the game. That is that physical contest, but yet you see that these young men, through their training methods, get ready to compete at a high level.
And on that play, again, kind of exposed himself, particularly the upper body, with that leap over the pile, and that kind of exposed that shoulder, neck, and head area as he was coming down awkwardly, and forced that fumble. That hit, that took a pretty jarring hit there that separated him from the football.
Yeah, good, hard, solid, clean hit. Nothing at all that was done either intentionally or with any kind of malice.
So play will resume here. Again, Germantown recovering the fumble. It was Gruber who recovered the loose ball. Lincoln Gruber for the Germantown Warhawks. So it'll be 1st and 10 Germantown here. We're early in the 3rd quarter, 8-point Warhawk lead. They'll have it at the Cedarburg 44-yard line. Lemerond is the single back. They'll go 4 receivers, 2 to a side. Wayne Lawhorn from the gun. Lawhorn wants to put it up. Has time. Going down the sideline once again. Leaping grab at the 5, down to the 2. Steve Doran. He's been all over. Scored a touchdown on defense. Nearly scored one on offense here on a nice thrown ball by Lawhorn.
Once again, you see the 6'4" height. He reaches over that defensive back and makes that grab.
Right over the top of Nick Russo to snatch that one away. From the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, Germantown. Lemerond up the middle, touchdown, Germantown. Joe Lemerond, senior, right up the gut. 4th rushing touchdown of the year for Lemerond, and Germantown capitalizes on its 2nd takeaway or 3rd turnover tonight, making it a 26-12 lead.
You've got that interior line, Sean Mabbitt, a 295-pound senior, Dave Nillis, a 230-pound junior, Mike Cooney, a 240-pound senior, helped leading that way.
Carter Schmitz to attempt the extra point. Winkler on the hold, Gruber on the snap. And it is good. 27-12, 9:42 remaining 3rd quarter. Another look, Lemerond just pulls his way up the middle for the touchdown run.
Well, 2 turnovers resulted 14 points going to Germantown. Kind of really changed the game around.
Good move here by Brian Lier. He's got his whole team huddled up here prior to this kickoff. I believe the discussion there is to get them focused back on the game here. Plenty of time. Get back to running the plays and running the offense and getting back into the flow that had them going for much of that first half.
Yeah, Brian's talked about what fine kids he's got, and they are going to be resilient. Brian's been at Cedarburg 19 years. He's racked up 142 wins, 57 losses. So this is a gentleman that knows how to do this. And once again, it's always interesting. You talk to so many of the coaches, you ask them what their record is, they have no idea. They're in it for the kids, not for the personal glory.
A 40-yard reception by Doran, and then the 2-yard touchdown run by Lemerond. Let's put Germantown up 27-12. Sylvester and Shabesta standing back deep. Schmitz kicked this one away. Sylvester will take off the goal line, up the middle, good hard run across the 20 and out to the 25-yard line is Sylvester. Osden making the play. So this will be Max Race, the 5'11", 205-pound junior, in now at quarterback. Mike Mojica injured. And so Race, who started last week's game against Milwaukee Lutheran,
has a game under the belt, so not coming in without experience.
They'll give to Shabesta. Tries the right side. Gain of about 5 on the play. Good strong run by Shabesta that time. Brought down by Justin Gross, the strong safety for Germantown. Pickup of about 4. Ball just across the Bulldog 30-yard line. Call it 2nd and 6 for Cedarburg. This is Sylvester, Stever trying to get to the left side. Stop for no gain. Good penetration up front. Looked like Gruber again. Check that. Kyle Tice and Cole Karch both there defensively for Germantown.
We also have that new fullback in there, Connor Tonello, is another guy who's coming back from having been injured. And the job of the fullback in this offense is like an extra guard in there leading up into the hole.
Well, 3rd and 6. And a penalty marker. And to jump the neutral zone. 5-yard walk-off will take them from 3rd and 6 to a 3rd and 1 at the 35-yard line. Get it just across the 36 for the first down.
Defensive line coaches always want to know why you've jumped offside when you're over the ball. You're supposedly watching the ball, but so often that quarterback's cadence gets you to make that jump.
That's the first down and more across the 40 out to the 43 before he is stood up and driven back. Nice run by Alex Shibesta that time. Good strong run to pick up that first down. Schneider in there along with Karch for Germantown.
You can see that Cedarburg's trying to speed things up, get to the line, snap the ball.
Shibesta again picks his way through across the 45 out to midfield. 6-yard pickup that time by Shibesta, just short of midfield. Karch was there along with Zach Van Buskam. Right, and Shibesta here. He's your best runner back there. They'll get it again. Shibesta, nice hole up the middle. First down into Germantown territory. Wrestled down at the Warhawk 44-yard line. Tice and Schneider both there.
You watch
another Durzon and Menard. First down for Cedarburg.
You watch Shibesta as he gets set. He gets a little lateral stuff, a little shuffle, so he gets a better view of the blocking ahead of him, and so he can see where that seam is to break through.
From the Warhawk 44, 1st and 10. Again, this time it's Stever trying to go around the left side, gets a couple. Good job by Germantown to string that one out. Gruber and Tice both there. Small gain, we'll call it 2. Sets up 2nd and 8. Stever tonight with a pair of touchdown runs for the Bulldogs. Shed the block and slide down the line. Nice job defensively. Shibesta again. This time he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Bringing up a critical 3rd down here for Cedarburg. You're halfway through the quarter. You want to make sure that you can keep this drive going. More than anything, you don't want Germantown to get the ball again.
3rd and 8 from the 42 of Germantown.
Interesting to note that Nick Albee, who got nicked up with an ankle in the first half, back in there that last play.
Got all kinds of confusion up front. The penalty markers rain down. False start penalty against Cedarburg. Not sure what happened there. If the center forgot the snap count.
Yep. See Alex grab his head and say, "Oh my God, what did I do?"
It's both the 6'3", 292-pound senior center. 3rd and 13.
Race was 6 for 11 for 48 yards and a TD last week. We'll see what he can do on this critical 3rd down.
From the Warhawk 47-yard line. Pump fakes once to the right. Now on the scramble, and down he'll go back at the 40-yard line. Job defensively there. Masden was there, Austin Masden. Got in there first as we take one more look. Never gave up on the blitz. Bottled up right at the line and fought his way off that block to get into the backfield for the sack.
Saw the Kyle Karch 6'5" guy jump up, kind of obscured his vision.
Stever will punt this one over the head of the twin safeties back there. It will roll into the end zone. A 47-yard punt, no return. Germantown will get it at their own 20-yard line, leading 27-12 with a pair of touchdowns early here in the 3rd quarter. Defensive score by Doran, and then a 2-yard touchdown run that was set up by the 40-yard pass reception to Doran. after a fumble recovery by the Warhawks. So Dwayne Lawhorn Jr., the quarterback for Germantown, will lead his team back out on offense. They'll stack 2 byes here, 4 receivers stacked to both sides here. Low snap, Lawhorn picks it up. He'll have to scramble forward, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Snap never came up that time. It just rolled right back to the quarterback, Lawhorn. Russo will be credited with the stop at the line of scrimmage.
Saw Cedarburg was bringing the blitz that time, trying to get some pressure. They want to try to force that turnover. Got to get that ball back in their hands quick as possible.
Same formation, they'll stack both receivers either side. Lemeron spinning out of a tackle across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. He got a yard or 2 out of that. It's both Watson and Pullum there for the Bulldogs on the stop.
Kyle Pullum is outstanding athlete, 4-year starter, lots of offers. He's a wrestler, if you can imagine that. How would you like to come out to the center of the bat in your face and that guy? I think I might take the quick dive.
I'm thinking the other way. I'm thinking that technique that you're learning in wrestling can be applied to work on that defensive line, tossing your offensive lineman out of your way. Empty backfield here now as they'll go over the middle. It's picked off. Stever with the interception at the 35, down the far sideline, inside the 10, and angled out of bounds short of the pylon. Well, he's all over the field tonight. Stever with 2 touchdowns rushing, and now comes away with an interception that will set his team up first and goal inside the 5.
Big players make big plays. And that's what you need is a guy like Stever. And Coach LaHare talked about what a fantastic athlete he is. And Pierre is playing both ways, punting, you name it, he does it.
Looking for Connor Edmonds that time, and Stever able to jump the route. All it looked like it was underthrown again. From the 2. Shabesta pulls his way in for the score, and Cedarburg gets the touchdown. They've cut it to 9 here late in the 3rd quarter. So they capitalize on the Stever interception return to the 2. Again, the question is, they go for 1 or will they play for 2 here?
I think you definitely want to go for 2 and get that game in 7.
So Race will line up from the gun. They'll give it to Shabesta. Shabesta to the goal line and did not get in. Turned away right at the goal line, got lateral with the line as he was denied on the 2-point conversion.
Critical for Germantown. They keep it a 2-score lead.
Here's the touchdown run by Shabesta. And that 2-point conversion, it looked like he got inside the 2 and got spun laterally here. Let's see. Touchdown again. But Stever's interception has brought his team back. A little momentum coming back to this near sideline now for Cedarburg, trailing by 9.
That combination of Shabesta and Stever
was that
just short.
It was Tice who may have denied him the goal line that time for the Warhawks, the inside linebacker Kyle Tice.
Looked like Phil Fritchie was also in there, 5'11", 222-pound junior.
Wetterman and Schneider standing deep.
Tonight's winning ticket is Pink in color. Pink ticket number 675735.
Cedarburg seems reflective of Coach LaHare. The idea that they're tough, hard-nosed, they're not going to give in. Had a couple guys get nicked up, and they're still out there fighting. So I think we're in store for a really exciting finish to this game. So
the interception returned to the 2, capitalized by the Shabesta touchdown, as this will be rolling around and picked up by Schneider. Schneider cuts it back up the middle across 25-30, has the kicker to beat at midfield. This is Schneider. He will take it inside the 20 and run out of bounds there at the 15. Nick Schneider with a big run back for Germantown. So we get one more look here. They had the wall set up here on the near side, and then he just took it to the far side to his right, and then suddenly the kicker was the last man to get back there to bring him down. It was one of the freshmen, I believe, there, Terry, that got added on.
Yeah, we don't have 22 on our lineup.
Is it on Germantown or is this on Cedarburg? We have the unsportsmanlike conduct call here. Said it was on the white team, but they were pointing Germantown's way. It will be against Cedarburg. They'll mark it off half the distance from the 15, so let's put this ball inside the 8-yard line, and they'll set up a 1st and goal for Germantown. One of the coaches made their way on the field during that play, and that's why the unsportsmanlike flag came down. Jake Davis wants to know. He thought it was on his team, and I think he was a little upset, and the referee was pointing that direction. So a nice return by Schneider down to the 15. The penalty, half the distance, takes it inside the 8. 1st and goal, Germantown. Lemmer on the single back. 2 to his side. They'll run the option. Lawhorn will keep it. Spilled near the 5. That read option that time by Lawhorn. Stever in on the stop.
You can see as the season's going to go along how this Germantown offense is going to evolve even more and all the different wrinkles they'll be able to add.
Lawhorn will take his time now. Calls not only the play but also the line assignments for the blocking assignments as well. Picks those up. He'll keep it himself. Lawhorn into the end zone. Touchdown, Germantown.
He read that beautifully. He saw how they jumped on it. The seam opened up. He ran right through it. And Phil Dotka said he's a marvelous young man. Not just a fantastic athlete, but a fantastic young man. And before the game, he came up and he was giving Coach Dotka a little grief about, here's the ball. You'll take care of this, won't you?
One more look at the touchdown. Yeah, we were on the field before the game with Coach Dotka and Ron Davies. We were just all reminiscing, and he had the game ball, and Lawhorn just walked right in. He said, "Excuse me, gentlemen, I believe this is yours," and gave that to Coach Dotka, and back to the locker room he went. Extra point on the way for Carter Schmitz is up and good. 34-18, 16-point lead here for Germantown late here in this 3rd quarter.
I think you want to give some props on that touchdown play to Sean Mabbitt, the left guard, 6'4", 295 pounds. One of the reasons that seam opened up is he pulled and expanded that seam. I don't know if Dwayne wants to take Sean out to eat any place. That could get a little costly, but as long as that guy was leading me, I think I'd consider, throwing him a bone or something.
Yeah, he's getting some recruiting interest. First team all-conference from a year ago, Mabbitt, at that left guard spot.
We know how happy Coach Davis was, along with the offensive coordinator Steve Tennis, with the outstanding senior line that they've got. 3 seniors in there and the 2 juniors. Actually, you see their one left tackle, a little undersized compared to most of these guys, 6'2", 182 pounds. But they move extremely well, very well coached, and that's what Coach Davis works with. He is the offensive line coach.
Garrett Sylvester along with Alex Shabesta standing deep. Line drive kick through the hands of Sylvester. He'll take it out of the end zone. Sylvester cutting around the left side with some running room. Out across the 25 and tripped up just short of the 30 with a penalty marker on the play. Nice run, 30-yard run that time by Sylvester. Just across the 30, I believe it was Robert Kanan that made the stop. So we'll sort out the penalty call here.
Clearing the return, 10 yards on the spot foul. First down.
So a 10-yard holding call on the return. And negate a fine run. On the return by Sylvester, move the football just inside the 15-yard line.
Can't have those special teams hurt you. You give up the big return, set them up for a score. Now your penalty on your own kickoff return puts you into the hole.
And if you're just joining us, Mike Mojica injured here early in the third quarter, so this is Max Race at quarterback. And they'll try and go up the middle with Sylvester that time. Nothing doing there. Germantown defense holding tight up front. No gain on the play, second down and 10.
Looked like Cole Cart's got a hand on him that time.
Everybody's set here. Again, movement. Guard pulling early that time for Cedarburg.
That play looked doomed from the start.
Yeah,
there was confusion. Making the adjustment now to the new quarterback. And I would imagine just thrown off a little bit by that last score that they gave up.
Penalty moves the ball to the 10-yard line. Second and 15 upcoming here for Cedarburg. Race wants to throw on the play fake. Going over the middle into traffic, and it's incomplete. They had Stever bookended there. He was covered all the way. Schneider was back there. We take one more look. Those front and back coverage that time on Jonathan Stever.
Threw a good deep ball though. Strong arm for Max Race. Now they find themselves faced with a third down. Last thing they want to do is have to punt out of their own end zone. Give the ball back to Germantown.
Stever will line up in a split end here to the near side. Try and swing it out, and it's incomplete. Looking for, I believe, Hauschel. Jordan Hauschel, the intended receiver that time for the Bulldogs. And it brings up 4th and 15. Indeed, Cedarburg will be punting in the shadows of their own goalpost.
Weiderman and Schneider back to receive once again.
Should get good field position out of it. They're standing at midfield. Stever kicked the end over end. He picked up on one bounce. Weiderman takes it inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Kyle Weiderman on the return. Rick Russo again in on the stop. He's been the special teamer of the game so far. He's had 4 tackles now on special teams tonight.
I tripped him up before he could get a full head of steam.
Well, good field position here for the Warhawks at the Bulldog 38-yard line, leading 34-18 late third quarter. Again, they'll stack the receivers on either side. They'll give it to Lemeron. Hole up the middle, cuts at the 25, inside the 20, Down to the 15, moves the pile forward down to the 12-yard line. 26-yard run that time by Lemeron. And McComas able to make the stop along with Groves out of that secondary for Cedarburg.
Good surge that time by the offensive line for Germantown.
Running up hard into that third level. Lemeron down to the 12-yard line. First and goal, first and 10, I should say, from the 12. Lawhorn. Low snap. Again, Lemeron the call. Drags a defender inside the 10-yard line.
Again, you saw Mabbitt pull from his left guard position, kick out, try to create that seam for Lemeron.
Lucas Rozak, senior defensive end there, on the stop. Second and about 7 here with about 30 seconds to go in the quarter. They'll roll Lawhorn to the near side. Going to the back of the end zone, they'll just throw it away, intended for Steve Doran. Doran with an interception return for a touchdown tonight on the other side of the ball. That started our second half. That was from the first play of scrimmage here to start this third quarter.
On the season coming into this game, Lawhorn was 31 for 45 at throwing for over 550 yards. You know, we've mentioned before he's a basketball player. Should also mention this is a 3-5 student, and you saw he exercised good judgment down there. Didn't have a man open, just wing it out of the end zone.
A bunch trips here to the left side, the near side of your screen. Different look here. Again, they'll roll Lawhorn. He'll keep it. Lawhorn inside the 10 to the 5 to the pylon. And did he get in or not? No signal from the official. They're going to mark him just short of the goal line. Awfully close. We'll take one more look. This will be a good angle here. Coming right at you into your living room, and yep, he stepped out. Good call by the official. That left foot went out of bounds just before the pylon.
Coach Dodka was telling us during practice this week they had a similar situation last week. Lawhorn could have scored a touchdown, instead called an audible, gave it to the running back.
Give it to Lemeron, and Lemeron into the end zone, his second touchdown tonight. 1-yard run for Lemeron. Again, the short field because of the punt. And Germantown able to capitalize. Lemeron, his second trip to the end zone tonight. Carter Schmitz for the extra point. This one is up and through. 41-18. Cedarburg trailing now. The largest deficit of the ball game, and a whole quarter to which to play as clearing skies here in Germantown, and nearly full moon here tonight.
You go back to that play at the start of the second half when Steve Doran goes up, knocks that ball, really kind of flipped the whole game on its end for Cedarburg. And now a little bit demoralized. You've lost your quarterback. You've gotten worn down a bit, and you know, once again, you got to take your hat off to Germantown, because they're causing a lot of these problems, but they took what had been a really tight game, and they've kind of put the pressure on Cedarburg now.
Garrett Sylvester and Alex Shabesta standing inside the 5-yard line to our left.
Sylvester and Shabesta need to return for Cedarburg. Schmitz to kick off.
Go to Sylvester. He'll take it out of the end zone. Right up the middle. Tripped as he got it to the 20-yard line. Had some running room, but got tripped up as he made it to the 20. Thomas Snellen Nelson, I should say, in on the stop. A penalty marker, I believe, down here as well. Let's see. Maybe not. So 8 seconds to go here in our third quarter. Cedarburg chasing 23 here. Race has Shibesta to his left. And a little quick reverse. Shibesta back over to Stever, and Stever stacked up to end our third quarter here in Germantown. Warhawks pulling away here with the fourth quarter set to come. 41-18, Germantown on top of Cedarburg. A North Shore Conference matchup tonight. Our Thursday Night Lights presentation on My 24. Fourth quarter set to begin here in Germantown. Warhawks pulling away here through that third quarter. Got things started with the interception return for the touchdown. This will be Cedarburg ball, 2nd and 9 to start our fourth quarter. Shibesta got to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Kyle Tyson, nice evening defensively tonight. 11 tackles for Tice. That linebacking position tonight.
A very steady player tonight for Germantown.
Another one of those basketball players as well. Shibesta around the right side, across the 30, out to about the 33-yard line. Should have enough for a first down. Here's on a Menard first down here this fourth quarter. Shibesta and Stever have had a pretty good night running the ball.
Yeah, very tough combo. They just have had a couple things go against them.
Shibesta again breaks a tackle out near the 45 before he's brought down by Doran.
Very nice cutback there as he saw the hole shape up to the inside, turned it upfield, got the first down.
First and 10 Bulldogs from their own 45. Shibesta again stays on his feet out to midfield. Gain of about 6 on the play. Nice run that time by Shibesta. Actually got tripped up. It was Tice again in on the stop for Germantown. 12 tackles on the night tonight for Kyle Tice.
Outstanding defensive performance.
Call Shibesta's number again. Pulled around, late penalty flag down. Got a hold of the face mask and adds some more yardage to that run by Shibesta.
Once again, as he starts going to his left, it looks like he's going for a complete sweep, but once he sees that little hole pop, he just cuts it up. He's kind of sneaky fast. That's one of those things. Doesn't seem like he's a blazer, but he's just got good, quick feet. Not the biggest kid, 167 pounds, but he runs extremely hard. Gets those shoulders down, carries that ball upfield.
I don't think he got the mask. I think he got the shoulder, and I think the
sideline yelling face mask sometimes has that influence.
Yep. Not so sure about that one. Inside the 30. Inside pitch back to Stever. Stever with some running room inside the 10. Still on his feet down to the 5-yard line. Tough, hard-nosed run by Jonathan Stever. 2 touchdowns on the night for Stever.
His teammates helping Stever up. He's been playing both ways. He's been kicking, and he has given everything he has. Tough, hard-nosed kid, Stever and Shibesta.
It's that shoulder lean as he goes through the line and just keeps those legs churning. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Shibesta Gets to the 2, and he's driven back there. Tice and company there once again for Germantown.
You look at that left side of the line. Kyle Pullum, the 298-pound senior. Ryan Hom leading things in there at 213. Large center, Mr. Bothy at 6'3", 292, trying to get that surge.
Shabesta to the goal line, touchdown Bulldogs. Alex Shabesta with the 2-yard touchdown run. Makes it 41-24. 2-point conversion pending. And just taking advantage of that offensive line, just follow the bigs right into the end zone. So again, they'll try for 2. Shabesta the lone back. Sylvester lined up in a wing left, Stever a wing right. Stever in motion. They'll give it to Shabesta, and he'll be stopped short. Good job by Cole Karch that time to trip him up before he got to the goal line, along with Tice once again.
10 tackles now for Tice.
One more look. The 2-point conversion. Karch got him by the ankles that time to stop him short. And a reminder, Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You'll also find complete game videos and photos from our games all season long, my24milwaukee.com.
Now you have to wonder, is Cedarburg now going to consider an onside kick? Clock working against them.
Set down to the sidelines, and Mike McGivern.
Boys, got to give the Cedarburg coaching staff and team a lot of credit. They feel like they're still in this thing, coaching them up, and certainly the next time they get the ball, they've got a couple ideas on what they're going to do with this backup quarterback.
You called it, Terry, an onside kick, recovered by the Warhawks. And a hard run up, and then topping that ball into the turf. And Bulldogs are looking for that bounce straight up, and Germantown was able to cover it up just across midfield.
Well, our spotter, Eric Murray, was the one to kind of wonder that, former defensive back coach out at Sussex Hamilton, being an AP chemistry teacher, he was always going to be intelligent and was able to give Coach D'Amato some of those suggestions.
He was right on it. Germantown able to recover. Send a man in motion to the near side, Schultz. They're running away from him this time, going left. Now they carry that Spencer Peathen. 6 foot, 168-pound junior.
Sometimes running that man in motion across the formation gets the defense to shift and account for that, and then you saw how Germantown wanted to counter that by running back the direction from which that motion man came.
Gain of 4 by Pettin. Makes a 2nd and 6 ball at the 48 of Cedarburg. Trips to the left side here. Pettin again, able to get out of the tackle, make something out of nothing there. Takes it inside the 45, rolled to the 44. All season long, Mike and Carol will have the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sideline, letting you know about the great things going on in the great communities such as Germantown here tonight. Our sideline reports are being brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Well, down by 3 scores, Cedarburg has to make Germantown turn this ball over. 3rd and short, see if they can rise to the occasion.
Baton, the single back. And it's a read option. It's Lawhorn will keep it, and he's going to be short. About a yard shy. Stopped at the 42-yard line. Need to take it across the 41 for the first down.
You can see one of the things Germantown's trying to do by formation, going that 2-by-2. They want to spread you out and then see what they can run inside. You know, one of the plays that Germantown may consider with that is you run an option out of that, that look, And suddenly that option kind of becomes your automatic blocker. It takes care of a guy. So 4th and a little less than 1.
Clock continues to roll, 8:20 to go. I think Jake Davis is going to take all the time he needs before taking a timeout here. Let's see, they'll get set. They're going to go ahead and run the play here. And Lawhorn's second effort will take it inside the 40-yard line. He'll pick up a Derzana Menard first down.
Well, that read option gives you that advantage. They ran the trips to the one side, get the defense to kind of shift out to cover them. And more than anything, what it does is it's going to use up another 3.5 to 4 minutes.
And that back judge was counting down. He was into that 3 into 4 just as Lawhorn took that snap. So they pick up the first down. Some confusion here on the receiving core. They'll go 3 receivers here to the right side. Get the play settled. Ethan again will take it. He then spins out of a tackle down to the 30-yard line. Nearly coughed up that football. Gain of about 8 on the play. Jake Deming there to make the stop for Cedarburg.
You know, Pethan, a junior, had 20 rushes for 147 yards coming in. You look at what Lemeron can do. You've seen what Dwayne Lahorn can do. Outstanding receiving core. Very well-balanced team. Germantown's one of those teams, as we project going out into the season, is going to be a real force.
Again, they'll spread them out. Trips here to the near side. Single receiver to the left side. Schultz in motion to the left. No snap. Ethan will get second effort. Picks up close to a first down. Let's see. Yep, they'll move the chains here. Lucas Rozak there. Rozak 4 tackles tonight for Rozak. Germantown again, rolling the clock here. 6:44 and counting remaining in this one. Leading by 17. They'll go double stack. 4 receivers, 2 to a side. And they'll send Schultz in motion. Again, Pitan breaks the tackle inside the 15. Pitan down to the 12-yard line. Nice run by Spencer there. So take another look. Big hole opening up on that offensive line.
First down, Germantown.
Yeah, he ran right through the tackle of Lucas Rozak. You know, he's got that quick burst.
Just short of the 10-yard line, so 1st and 10. We'll call it the 11. Again, they'll stack 3 receivers to the far side. They'll hand it to Schultz. Schultz coming around on the jet sweep. Running out of that slot position in that trips formation, takes it down to the 5-yard line.
Stop by Tom Bibby and Tyler Watson.
Watson and Bibby there. Get one more look. Cole Karch delivered a huge block on that play. Did you see that? It was a decleater.
Karts is recognized as probably their strongest player. Can bench press 325, squats 515.
Won't get any argument from me. And trips to the left side. They'll spread him out. They'll run out of that. Patan stopped right there. Patan stopped short of the 5-yard line. Bibby again in on the stop, and a reserve roll tonight. It's come up big. 4 tackles so far on this drive.
You got to admire Cedarburg. They're not raising the white flag and giving up. They're fighting all the way. Odds are certainly stacked against them, but Coach Lehera has got a lot to be proud of with this group of young men.
Peden, the lone running back. Again, they'll stack 2 receivers aside here. Schultz goes in motion left. Peden gets the carry. Peden to the 1, and he's denied as he's turned back near the 1 yard line. Nice job by Stever. He's played a heck of a ball game tonight for Cedarburg. A pair of touchdowns tonight. He's played hard on both sides of the ball. He's had the touchdowns and an interception tonight.
And when he walks off the field, he knows he's putting a full night's work.
Got a timeout here with 4:27 remaining in our fourth quarter. Bring the sticks out to measure this one. And by the length of the football, first down. Durzana Menard, first down, first and goal for Germantown. Germantown looking to put this one out of reach here. Finally shut the door. Here is Pettin will be the lone running back. 4 receivers, slot to each side. Mulhern wants to throw it low and incomplete. Looking for Connor Edmonds. Edmonds with a touchdown reception tonight. Same spot of the field there.
Germantown has a heck of a lot of weapons. If you're a defensive coordinator and you're trying to figure out what is it you're going to take away from them, you can really be stymied.
Go trips left. Second and goal from inside the 1. Headed to the goal line, touchdown, Germantown. March it in here, this time from 1 yard out. Headed carry a load here on the ground, almost exclusively here in this drive. Caps it off with the 1 yard touchdown run. Carter Schmitz for the extra point. Kyle Winkler on the hold. Gruber on the snap. Low snap. Winkler got it set up, and Schmitz through the uprights. 48-24. We'll take a timeout. Just over 4 minutes remaining in our ball game. Germantown in control. Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Germantown doubling up on Cedarburg here late. 4 minutes to go in our ball game. 1 yard touchdown run by Spencer Patan. And 12-play, 51-yard drive capped off by Spencer's 1 yard run. Sylvester to the near side. Shabesta deep to the far side to receive this kick from Carter Schmitz. Sylvester will let that one skip through the end zone. We'll head down to the sideline and Mr. Mike McGivern.
Hey, here with the athletic director, Jack Clubsedel. Jack, thank you so much for having us, man. I really appreciate it.
It's great having you. We love hosting Thursday Night Lights. It's fun for the kids, fun for the teams. Get great exposure for high school football.
Hey, just under 85% of the kids that come to school here are active in something. You guys doing a great job.
Yeah, we love it. All the kids are involved. The kids are in the student section. We got great support groups with the band, the Palms cheerleaders, the football team. We love getting our kids involved because it helps them academically in the classroom, and we continue to promote it.
You know what? He's one of the good ones, man. He's one of the real good ones as far as athletic directors around. Jack, thanks again.
Thank you, and we have you here anytime. Thanks, Mike.
Excellent. Back to you boys in the booth.
Mike and Jack, thank you so much. Mace will hand it off. Shabesta. Check that. Hauschel. Jordan Hauschel with the carry. Coming off that right wing position. And really the balance of this game, Terry, tipped right at the first snap of the third quarter. That tipped interception.
Tip is a good choice of words there for you, Coach. Very much so.
Sylvester dragging tacklers with him. Kicks it out across the 30 out to the 35-yard line. That'll be enough for a Durzana Menard first down for Cedarburg. Garrett Sylvester, 6', 172-pound senior. Sylvester again, and he's met in the hole for a couple. Riley Dorsey and Nick Ham, I should say, the senior defensive lineman. Nice snap, race now. To throw it downfield, and he's going to be taken down. Lincoln Gruber got him around by the waist. Gruber tonight with a fumble recovery. Race sacked by Karch and Gruber. The bookends that time.
It's two nice bookends to have. They really kind of squeeze everything inside.
So 3rd and long now for Cedarburg. Toss to Sylvester, trying to get out of bounds, and does, just short of the 40-yard line. They stop the clock with 2 minutes remaining.
One of the things that Coach Davis wanted to kind of highlight, he runs a special leadership class. They met at 6 a.m. throughout the winter and spring, and talking to his seniors, not about X's and O's. They study famous leaders in history. What are the things that allow them to be successful? He's got a team very much involved doing community service work, visiting the elderly. I think you can see it start to pay off with the type of young men he has out there on the field.
Race on a little sprint, and then the pitch to Hauschel. Brought down by Doran. Doran tonight, 8 tackles, along with a couple of quarterback pressures and an interception. Touchdown return.
Didn't do too badly on offense either.
No. Last I had him for 3 catches for 94 yards.
Well, time to call this again, John. It's going to be a first down or short.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Come on, you're perfect on the
season. He's got it. 6 for 6, 5 for 5, 5 for 5.
Coach Basham told me I should get some stock tips from you. You're able to call things pretty well.
That would only carry over Saturday over in Adrian, Michigan. Durzana Menard, 1st and 10 play here. Sylvester again, a good strong run. Gain of about 4 before he is turned away. This team just keeps coming at you. Hats off to this Cedarburg team. They just don't quit. They come right at you hard every snap, regardless of the score. Second and 6, and this play is going to be whistled. That looked like the wing on that right side may have jumped a half count too soon. Hauschel, I think, on that right side. So 5-yard walk-off. Bring up a 2nd and 11 here for Cedarburg. Clock winding down here, minute 14 to go. Sylvester again around the right side, out to midfield.
Garrett Sylvester, the ball carrier.
Under a minute to go. Weiderman in on the stop. We saw Weiderman on special teams tonight as one of the returners. In there now in a reserve linebacker role. Hauschel up the middle with some room. Hauschel taking tacklers with him down to the Germantown 35-yard line. A 19, 20-yard run that time by Hauschel.
5'10", 170-pound senior getting his chance to carry the ball.
Fake to Sylvester. Race wants to throw. Has Hauschel out there. Can't come up with it. Weiderman on the coverage back there for Germantown. Right through the hands of Hauschel that time. So 2nd and 10 from the 35. And play fake to Sylvester. Race again going downfield. And this time it is nearly picked off. Penalty marker down. Intended for Tommy Willer near the goal line, but the flag at the 1-yard line. Weiderman was back there defensively, but we'll check out the penalty.
Pass interference, defense. 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference, the call.
First off.
15 yards from the line of scrimmage in high school, so it'll bring a first down. Marked it down to the 20. It was right before they got there. I don't know if they made contact.
First and 10 from the 20.
Going for the ball.
Didn't look like.
I'm not so sure. Must have happened before the ball got there. Then a play fake. Race looking to toss back of the end zone. Caught but out of bounds. Willer.
Pass caught out of bounds.
Again over Weiderman.
2nd down and 10.
It's a good matchup there. Willer at 6'2", Weiderman still there. 6'1". Second and 10 from the 20. That double pitch, Hauschel to the 10-yard line. Clock will stop while they readjust the chains here. Another good strong run by Hauschel.
Tackled by Wayman McNeil.
McNeil there on the stop for Germantown. Cedarburg will take a timeout here with 10 seconds to play. Again, you might say, well, why stopping play here? But I think you're building for next week. Is what you're looking for here. Get this last score, make sure of it, get the touchdown.
Very much the case of pride. Not false pride, but you know you can do it. You look at the expression on Coach Lair's face. You know, this is a man who really respects his kids. I think in turn they respect him, and he's supporting them all the way to the end, and that's exactly what you want to have happen.
So 1st and goal upcoming here for Cedarburg with just over 10 seconds remaining. Cedarburg early in this 3rd quarter losing their quarterback Mike Mojica to injury. Long delay as they tended to him, and Max Race coming on here, facing a blitz, tossing it low, and late signal, they're going to give him the touchdown. Touchdown, Cedarburg. Alex Cluck, the sophomore, with the catch. Nope, now they're going to wave it off. Line judge on that far side coming in and waving that one off. So it'll go as an incomplete. We'll take one more look. Looked like it did hit the ground. Let's see.
Looks a little better on this one.
Yeah.
You know, we do have to say something about officials, and I may have had some disagreements with some over the years.
Not you, no.
But I'll tell you what, they don't get the benefit of replay, and I'm going to say 98% of the time they're right on, and you wouldn't have high school sports without the job these people do.
This time they'll go into the end zone. Willer with the touchdown reception.
It's just
Race to Willer.
No quit in Cedarburg. They're still going to be a force to be reckoned with. Hopefully some of these injuries will clear up. get a chance, but they've got that, that heart.
This time they will kick the extra point. Gavin Stump. Kyle Plum's the long snapper. Max Race will be the holder. Kick is up, and it is good. 48-31. So some Cedarburg pride showing here in this last drive. They did not quit. They pounded that ball down the field. Hauschel had some good strong runs, some good tosses by
Max Race.
Max Race. Second touchdown pass of the season thrown by Race.
And we said that this was the type of rivalry built out of respect. It's not one of those, they are the enemy, some of those false stereotypes that get thrown around. So you're seeing two teams compete hard. Yeah, one's going to walk off the field not being, quote, victorious, but those kids have learned some lessons. And in the long run, that's what you're really doing this for.
Germantown's going to snap a 6-game losing skid to Cedarburg with this win here tonight. Jake Davis will pick up his first win as head coach over Cedarburg.
Right, and that does mean something. When you've got that team that's maybe been your nemesis, you want to make sure that you get that taken care of.
Warhawks will go to 2-0 in league play, 4-0 overall. And they'll take the knee here. The clock will run out, and that is your ball game here tonight. Germantown picks up their 4th win of the year. 4-0 overall, 2-0 in North Shore Conference action, snapping a 6-game losing skid, knocking off Cedarburg here tonight. Handshake line up the middle of the field. The teams will shake hands. The coaching staff, Jake Davis on the right, the Cedarburg coaching staff on the left. As the Warhawks, 48-31 victory over Cedarburg. Back with more after this. Germantown snaps a 6-game losing skid to Cedarburg tonight. 48-31 your final. To the sidelines we go. Mike McGivern with our ball presentation.
Hey, guys, first we're going to do player of the game. Steve Doran, congratulations. Really nice game tonight. We've got Army Recruiter Carswell here to give you your player of the game award.
Hey, Steve, on behalf of the United States Army, I want to present this to you, and I want to congratulate you on a great game, all you guys, and that's a heck of a way to go out, right?
Yeah,
thanks for all your service.
Well done. Hey, Coach, I'm going to give you the game ball. I've had a chance to spend a little time with you this week, and you said, look, if we play really well, we got a chance to win. We got a chance to be pretty good, and I think you proved that tonight.
It's a big one for our boys. I'm really proud of what they did. They really played their hearts out. I mean, it was a tough first half, and we made some adjustments and got after them, and it was a really good win for us.
Hey, you tell Carter that now, right, it's a rivalry game. Because he said until we beat him, it's not, and you all beat him. Congratulations, Germantown. Well done.
Steve Doran, our player of the game tonight, and there's his numbers tonight. He was big on both sides of the field. 7 tackles, an interception, returned for a touchdown. Also on the offensive side, this is the play of the game right here to start the third quarter. The tip and the interception, tipped it to himself, ran it in the end zone, and that really set the tone here in the second half. Congratulations to Steve Doran, our player of the game. Presentation brought to you by U.S. Army, Army Strong. We'll be back with one more word from Germantown right after this. Quick touchdown to end the second quarter, a quick touchdown to start the third quarter. Germantown off to the races here, holding back Cedarburg 48-31, 4-0 on the year now for the Warhawks.
And 2-0 in the conference, extremely important in that position for them. Cedarburg obviously now finds himself 1-1. Key game next week.
Well, next week we're in the Greater Metro Conference, a Brookfield battle. Brookfield Central takes on Brookfield East. That'll be next Thursday at 7 right here on My 24. For Kara and Mike McGivern, for our spotter Eric Murray, stat guy Don Wachelis, and for Terry Kelly, I'm John Weiser, and our entire crew here for My 24 saying thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week for Thursday Night Lights on My 24 from Brookfield. Good night from Germantown. The Warhawks a winner over Cedarburg tonight, 48-31.